stuff.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. So this is going to be session 1 of Blood and Beauty. Or really session 0, we're going to be making characters.
Cool.
If if we have time, I would like to do some stuff in character, but we'll see kind of how that plays out, of course. So, did you guys get the update I posted in the chat about character creation?
Yeah.
It was just a small change.
As I said, I'm not exactly sure what it means, so I'll work off it as it goes along.
Well, basically, originally I was just going to do 3 terms, but I wanted to give some cushion for if when you're rolling your stats. So I upped it to 5 turns, but then you can give up a couple of, like, you don't have to take your max terms even if you could have 5, but if you want to, you can give up and say, like, before you roll stats, like, I'm going to roll for stats 3 times and take whichever one I want, as opposed to, but then you'd only have 3 terms instead of, the max of 5. So that way there's a little more, if you have 5 terms and you roll like crap, you're at least going to have a little extra experience on your character.
Okay. So if I drop a couple of terms, I get to roll 3 times for stats. And pick the
yes,
next one.
but you have to pick before the first time you roll. So.
Okay, right.
No, but if you have like 5 terms, you can choose to still take like 3 if you decide, like, I don't want to risk getting my leg broken or something.
Mm-hmm.
Did anyone have any ideas kind of where they wanted to start us off real quick before we get too deep into things?
Elaborate.
As far as character ideas go?
I never have ideas for Traveler.
Very well. Well, then does someone want to start us off then? Have you read the basic setting and sort of what the tone and theming is going to be, at least?
I'm just checking it out now, Ellie.
Essentially, all of you are going to be sort of regular Joes on Station Demian.
I guess for a bit of idea help, what sort of facilities are available and around the station? Like, I'm guessing there's not too much in the way of entertainment, but sort of shops?
Yeah, there's probably some basic shops. You'd have some entertainment, but probably not like anything crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I do know that arcade machines exist in this world, so you might have like a few of those around.
A one-screen cinema and a pub.
Yeah, more or less.
So basically my local area.
It's pretty, like, I mean, if you want to have like an entertaining job, we could probably pencil that in somewhere.
That was my first thought.
But just be aware, like, if you have like an entertaining job, you're probably one of, like, I'm not gonna say one of the only people, because there'll probably be other people involved in like said business, but you would be like kind of the exception to the rule in this area.
Mm-hmm. That just means all the fame is yours.
Or infamy, depending.
Actually.
What's your thing about military characters? Would you object to us having military characters or not?
Not necessarily. Station Demian does have some military aspects to it. Just be aware that if you're playing a more military-minded character, that you're probably going to like, you're here basically because somebody didn't like you, and they're putting you in like a post that's kind of low profile and going nowhere.
From what I read on the links about the setting, it's a lot almost expected is to sort of serve maybe like 1 term. So it seems to be a whole lot of
Well, yeah, if you want to be a citizen, you have to be involved. It doesn't necessarily have to be the military, but it does have to be with the government. you have to earn your citizenship. So there's a difference between being a civilian and being a citizen. So I wouldn't expect everyone in the group to actually even be a citizen.
Lol.
Reminds me of Starship Troopers.
Yeah, it does have that feel to it.
Reminds me of the Roman Empire.
Get off. Get off.
Yes. Any other kind of questions before we get started here?
Well, was there a thing that said what about the population of the station?
I didn't see it. I can tell you now it's fairly small. Probably.
What is small in this universe?
Well, I would say considering it's still an outpost, we could say maybe around 1,000. Keep in mind, though, like a lot of those people aren't really permanent residents. There's probably less permanent residents than there are people just kind of coming through. People will come in for a few months, they'll get their station somewhere else, and they'll head on.
It sounds like the type of place that would have, if I managed to get there, a doctor.
Yes, it definitely would have a doctor there. It still has, most basic facilities, but it's also kind of a shithole. So if you're like a doctor, you're one of those doctors who's like at a strip mall, one of the letters on their sign isn't working.
It's not really a concept we have in the UK.
Yeah. Most of our doctors are actually very nice people, and we appreciate them.
Oh, I'm not saying like that. I'm just saying you'd never find a clinic in the middle of a shopping centre.
Oh, we have this all over the place here in the US.
Yeah, no, they all our doctors have clinics in nice fancy buildings and stuff.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
No,
Well, the
I was about
doctors
to
I've
say.
and all the doctors I've ever been to have been in nice fancy buildings, but that might just be luck more than anything else.
Yeah, when I was at university, my doctor was in a fucking temporary shed thing.
Yeah, but that was university. What do you expect?
Yes, well, anyways, most people who are here are basically, they're looking to get stationed or move somewhere else. They either have like UE connections, or it's just like they're just here because they can't really find anywhere else to work.
So would the it be classed as a dangerous posting or?
Oh,
place
very,
to live, or-
very dangerous. Have you read about Keller's Run and everything that happened?
Yes, I read that, and it's like
That
okay.
all happened in the same system, and so there's tons of thugs and other low lifes in the area. Gangs are common, even with the security on the station. There's still like gang members and other low lifes hanging out in the area.
Okay.
It seemed to be like, judging by this map, there's like 4 or 5 systems that are just unclaimed right in the middle of all of this territory.
Yes, this is very much like the frontier. Station, OP Station Dimming itself used to be occupied, and it's been kind of occupied on and off after essentially they tried to clear the smog on the planet of Nexus 2, and it failed. And so it's been it's come in and out, and the UE has recently taken it back over after Keller's Run to have a larger presence in the system. So even that's kind of been half-hearted in a lot of ways.
So apparently, according to the map, there's no crime on Nexus. There's no crime status thing on it at all. So
Well,
Isn't that how much it's shaded in?
no, there isn't a little crime status symbol on the planet.
Well, keep in mind this map might not be, if you're talking about the map on Roll20, it might not be perfectly accurate, because I think this is from, we're about like, I think, let me look at the time period on this. I think we're around like, how far is it, Stephen? Like 50 years from like the current timeline of the actual game. So this map is like more updated.
I wouldn't put too much stock in it because I can only see like 6 of these crime symbols out of like 50.
The map on here is more just to give a general idea of like the layout, as opposed to anything more specific.
Okay.
Any other questions?
So how are we gonna do we just take turns to roll each thing and then do each term?
I was just gonna let one person go at a time. That way, then the next person could kind of build off of what's already happened. It will be up to you guys what order you want to do it in. If you have something more specific.
Is the connections rule?
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Is the connections rule in effect?
Probably would be to some extent. Let me double check.
It's the one where if someone gets an event, you can include another party member in it, and then you both get a bonus skill, but you can only do it twice.
I'm fine with using that.
So, okay.
Yeah, I think I'm really happy with the idea of let one person go through it because I'm totally new to this system. I'd like to see how someone does the whole thing before I'm thrown in myself.
Oh, let's
Yeah.
pick someone that knows the system then.
That's Stephen then.
Yeah,
Stephen?
Steven is the person who knows the system better than any of us. Even for me, I'm familiar with the system, but I definitely am no
Yeah, I'm familiar
expert.
with Traveller, but it's been ages since I've ever played it.
I've played first edition Traveller quite a lot.
Yeah.
So this is very similar to that. It's just there's a few differences here and there. So I could give it a go as well, if you want me to go first.
Yes, whoever wants
Go for
to.
it. Go for it, Steph. It's pretty similar, actually.
Right. Indeed. Okay, let's find. So I've been looking up other stuff. Where is classes? Careers.
Very well. So how many terms do you want to take versus how many rolls you want?
Is there a minimum amount of terms?
2 is the minimum. The absolute minimum you can have is 2.
Okay.
That's what Steven told me, so. That's correct, right, Steven?
Sorry, say that again?
The minimum terms you can have is 2.
I think so, yeah.
So yes, the maximum you could give up would be 3 terms, and you'd have 4 rolls in that case. If you wanted the absolute highest number of rolls, but then you'd have a smaller number of terms, so it's risk versus reward. You can have 1 roll and then get 5 terms, so.
I'm just going to get my notepad, I'll be right back.
So the roll is. God, where is the?
So do we take a whole set of rolls, or do we pick the numbers from the sets?
No, you pick sets. You just get an option from more sets, essentially, if you want to take the risk. I just wanted there to be a risk versus reward option instead of just rolling once and then taking 3 terms. That way it gives players a little more modularity in their options. And that way if someone rolls bad, they're not just completely screwed.
Right. Now, my problem is I've got a really annoying character that I've got stuck in my head.
Oh gosh.
And I can't. Yeah, big surprise. Me, an annoying character. But,
I wasn't going to say a word.
I know you weren't. I trust you, Michael. So I'm trying to, but I can't get that out of my head. So I need to just go in a completely different direction. So, something less annoying.
I'm back.
Oh. So what positions will we be taking on this station? Rather, what positions are available, or is there going to be something available for every class?
I think every class is acceptable. Let's just roll and see what happens.
Well,
I think it's 2d6 per stat, I believe.
yeah.
I'll get up the macro for you real quick.
Oh, thank you.
You don't have to take them in order, just so you know. So you'll be able to move them around, which is standard in the system. There you go. I put it in Discord.
So what do I do with this?
Just
Over
copy
there.
and paste it.
Okay.
But before you do that, make sure you decide how many
Yeah.
terms.
Ah, okay. I think I will go with. Yeah, I'll go with citizen, and I'll go with worker.
So you want 2 terms? You don't have to pick what you want for each term in advance. You just have to pick what your maximum number of terms is going to be, essentially.
Very well. I shall go for 4 terms.
Okay, so you get to roll for stats twice in that case.
Okay.
You'll get to take whichever array you choose.
I get what I get it.
You get it?
Yes. So I've copied them. Right.
Ooh,
That's
an
my first
11 and a 10.
10 and 11, that's not bad.
But there's some low ones in there too, so
Yeah.
Yes.
dice giveth and dice taketh away.
Mostly taketh away.
That's a bit more average.
You want average or do you want...
Catastrophic.
Well,
To be fair, the average has 3 and a 4 as well, so
yeah, that's true.
yeah, I'll go for my first one. So that's a 6, 4, 10, 5, 5, and 11.
Excellent. Now you get to assign them where you wish.
Okay.
You should all have sheets.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so my character is not going to be very social. So give my it fits with me.
I think with the social one, it's not.
It's status more than how sociable you are.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know. It's how people see me, which is quite low. So
And effectively what your societal status is. So if you have a high enough social,
Yes.
you
Well-
are noble.
well, I'm planning to go for worker, so it's going to be pretty low. But 4 is still only a -1, I believe.
I believe so.
Yep, it is.
Even an 11 is still technically only a +1. But it's only
Yeah.
1 point away from getting to a
But-
12.
Yeah, and you get and there's potential pluses in your advancements.
Yes, yes. Do keep in mind too, getting to a +2 in a stat is actually pretty significant because it affects so many skills.
Yeah, indeed. Right, I think I'll put my 10 in endurance because working class people tend to be quite to endure quite a bit. Education. That'll be a 5. Intellect. I'll give them a 6 in there. So I've got a 5 and 11 for my strength and dexterity. I think. I'll put the 5 in strength. And 11 in dexterity. Right, done.
Very well. Next up, you're going to get 2 background skills. Normally you would get 3, but since your education is only a 5, you receive 2 since 5 is a -1. If you look on page 8 of the book,
Okay.
you should see the list of background skills.
Ah, yes. So how many do I get? Sorry.
2.
Education.
It's your education DM plus 3, and since your DM is -1, you get 2.
Yes.
You're not a very well learned person.
No, I do not learn well. What?
Well, keep in mind, education is not intelligence.
No, no, no.
It's how much you were basically raised and taught in school and everything.
I was not taught well then. So what would I be doing? I think a mechanic 0 would probably be helpful. Potentially. I'm just and
Careful, Alan.
Cat's got in the recycling box. I'll be right back.
okay.
Oh dear. And what's going to be your second one?
I know this game, so even though it doesn't fit, I'm going for Vac Suit 0.
A wise choice.
Because I'm a citizen, so I will not get that in my character creation otherwise.
Well, Station Demon is kind of a piece of shit. The graph plates sometimes go off. Sometimes
Excellent.
people have to turn on their vac suits in emergency situations, so perhaps you've grown accustomed to this lifestyle.
Grown accustomed to things fucking up.
Very well. Now you get to start your first term.
Goody. Right. My first term. So, citizen, worker. So, to qualify as a citizen, I need to roll an education roll of 5+.
Oh boy.
Good luck.
Yeah.
You only have to roll a 6 on the dice.
Oh, yeah.
You've got a 50-50 chance, or just above a 50-50 chance.
Never tell me the odds.
Well, the average on 2d6 is 7, so.
Yeah, so you basically got more than 50-50.
Okay,
Just
I'm going to
over.
roll it with my eyes closed.
Well, that worked.
God damn it.
You have
I don't even
failed.
qualify to be a citizen.
You
You could try the draft.
Yes, you could always try the draft. That would technically make you a citizen.
I think I'll go for the only class that's automatic and be a drifter.
Very well.
And even then, you still have to roll to
Advance.
survive being a
I'll survive, yeah. Oh, God.
Yep,
Oh.
welcome to my world.
Incidentally, that was actually a 3. I forgot the -1. Never mind.
Oh, yes. Well, it's fine.
No, it's not fine. Okay,
Yes,
so
it's perfectly normal.
So,
I'll switch to
do you want to be
drifter then.
a barbarian, a wanderer, or a scavenger?
Scavenger. So that's the dex of 7 to survive.
Indeed.
Right,
Good
at least
start
I get a
so far.
+1 on this roll. Yay!
Woohoo!
I survived.
Congratulations.
Do you want my advancement roll now as well?
Yes, go ahead and do your advancement roll, which is endurance.
Yes, that's a +1 as well. Come on!
Wait, do you have to do an event? first?
Yes!
Oh, yeah, I think there's an event first as well.
Oh, was there event first? Oh. Well, can I please keep that roll for my advancement?
Sure.
I need
Yeah.
every.
There's a big
Boon I can
chart
get.
on page 10, which has
Yes, yes, yes.
Ah, yes. That would be very useful if I were looking at it.
Well, if you follow the chart, he did it right. He rolled for survival, and then you roll for event.
Yes, yes.
So,
Roll for the event, which is, I think, on page 16, where it talks about it. But then you do it
don't
at the
forget your
events
basic
table.
training.
yeah, well, it's event first, and then
Events. If you are still in your career after resolving the survival roll, roll on your careers. Right, it's in your career. You have a
Yep.
separate roll.
I can see it right here. I don't think it's modified by anything, is it?
no, it's just a straight
No.
roll.
Oh, give me 2d6 and see where we go. 2 to 12.
Here we go.
Don't roll 2 1s.
I rolled an 8. Oh my god. Ooh.
Let's see, an 8. You are attacked by enemies. Gain an
Of
enemy
course.
if you do not have one already. And roll either melee 8 plus, gun combat 8 plus, or stealth 8 plus to avoid a roll in the injury table.
This is why you needed to buy a skill first, so you could have picked guns.
Shush. Right, so I have no skills.
Wait. You're a
So I have
scavenger, right?
Yeah.
So as basic training, I think you get gun
Oh,
combat
right, yeah.
0.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Because otherwise I take a -3 to my roll for being unskilled. So I'll take gun combat then. Plus dex, isn't it?
I believe so, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't think you add your dex, unfortunately, to careers.
Oh, you don't.
It's gun combat.
It's gun combat, it's not careers.
Oh, hang on.
Can
Well,
Steven chime in on
know.
this?
I think I read that while you're doing the whole career thing, you don't add any ability modifiers, just your skills.
Oh,
Yeah,
lovely.
that's what I was thinking of. I'm just trying to find out where it says it.
That's
Well-
new. That's new for this edition, if it's true.
Very well. We'll go
A few.
by
Oh, I've got it. Let me just read it out.
Sure.
may
A
as
few
well, this is-
roles are skill checks where you add any levels in that skill. For example, a roll of gunner 8 plus would mean roll 2d, add your gunner skill level, and get 8 or more to succeed. Note that later in the rules you are able to add further modifiers to checks like this. For example, when using the gunner skill to shoot, you can often add dex. So that's
Right.
later on.
It's specifying that later you can add dex, but no. Very well. +0 it is. Oh dear. Injury table.
Oh dear.
Good
In my
start.
first term. I'm going to be limping my way through the rest of character creation.
Well, hopefully you don't die in this one, you just get medical debt.
Okay, so is that the mishap table or is it?
Have they brought back the Iron Man rules?
I don't think this game actually has Iron Man. Like, there's injuries, but there's no
Yes,
death.
yeah.
I think there's a different table from mishap to injury. So
The
Oh, yeah,
injury table
yeah.
is on page 47, I think.
Thank you.
yes, there it is. It's a 1d6.
1d6. Here it comes.
You were nearly killed. Reduce one physical
Lovely.
characteristic by 1d. Reduce two other physical
Oh.
characteristics by 2.
Basically, that's what my character got in the last game of Traveller we had.
Yeah, I remember. Oh,
Oh, that's
he really
painful.
is useless. Reduce one physical characteristic by 1d. Well, if I do it with strength, I risk dying. So I'm gonna have to go for dex.
Oof.
Lovely. Please, for the love of fucking. Okay. So that goes down by 3.
Your character was injured by the Horizon crew, a local gang in the system.
Enemy Horizon crew.
Yeah, note that on your character sheet.
Don't worry, he will.
Horizon crew brackets. They will pay. With their
Once
blood,
I've managed to get myself up to a level where I can hurt them.
which may take a while.
Yeah.
Well, at least I still advanced.
Yes, don't forget to reduce your other two physical characteristics by 2 as well.
Ah, yes. Thank you for reminding me.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Wanted just to make sure that your character is as complete as possible.
Yeah, have you got all of your basic training skills?
I haven't yet, no.
So you get pilot, small craft, mechanic, astrogation, vac suit, profession, and gun combat.
Okay, where is it on the thing? So it's everything under scavenger, isn't it?
Yeah, you get them. I think as basic training, you get them all at 0.
Yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
Right. Thank you. So pilot small craft is good. Always need a driver.
Indeed.
Oh, mechanic 0. Fuck. I already took that.
Well, it gets
That's
wasted,
okay,
unfortunately.
Yeah. And vac suit. Yay! Both of my background skills were pointless.
You had a third of the required skills. That's why you went into that job.
I suppose.
Just,
And
D-
go.
Don't forget about skills and training as well if you are advancing.
What's that, sorry?
Skills and training?
yeah, basically those all go to rank 1 because they have no associated level with them. They're just giving you the name, so
Oh.
it goes up by 1.
Yeah, it goes up by 1 if that's the case.
Oh.
But if
skills
you
said
don't-
0.
If they don't have 0 next to them, it just goes up by 1.
Yeah.
But if you don't have it, I think it goes up to 0 still.
Yeah.
But
So
if you do have it, it
But
goes up to 1.
Basic training's usually 0 unless they've changed that as well. Let me just have a look.
If it doesn't have a list, usually it goes up by 1, which means it would go up to 0 essentially, since you don't have it.
It basically the
That's
rules say
different to
skills can be
first.
listed with or without an associated level. If no rank is listed, then you gain that skill at level 1. If you
Yeah,
do not
at
have it
level 1.
already, or increase it by 1 if you already trained in that.
They're
field.
not listed with a number on the table because you can roll on that table later on. But when you get basic training, it says you get them at 0.
Yeah.
Yep, it does. Page 16.
Very
Yeah.
well.
I thought that was the case.
But you do get your skill, so you roll in the skills and training, I believe.
And if you advance, you get to do it another time as well.
Yeah, yeah.
I believe the advancement roll we said was a success.
Yep.
Yes. It was a 10. That was back when I had a +1. But it would still be a 9
It would
now.
still be a 9 now, yes.
I'm going to cry.
I believe you get to pick which
Yes.
which table you want to roll on.
Yeah, personal development, service skills, or scavenger. I think I shall go for. Well, I've got 4 total, and I'm advancing on this, so I get 2 rolls this time. Yeah.
I believe so, yes, because you did advance.
Cool. I shall go for 1 on scavenger and 1 on personal development. This first one shall be on personal development.
Excellent.
I get jack of all trades.
That is an excellent skill.
Indeed, it is, especially because I'm fucked up in everything else. so that's jack of all trades 1. Excellent.
You were doing pretty good till you rolled that almost dead.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. This roll is on the scavenger table. It's 2, so that's +1 in mechanic.
Excellent.
Right. So I believe that's it for this term, isn't it?
Yes. I believe so, unless anyone else has a comment.
I'm sure they
Sarcastic
do.
clapping.
Very well. Well, I mean, I'm not overly familiar with this, so chime in if anything's getting messed up. I believe the next we would move on to whether you would want to stay with Drifter or find a new.
I think my character. Yeah, he shall try and be a citizen again.
Can you
I'm
actually
gonna
try for the same one again?
Oh, but I can't remember.
I don't think you traditionally can try to go to the same one again, unless they've changed that. Stephen, are you there? Do you know?
I'm looking.
Do you know that off the top of your head?
You didn't used to be able to.
It only says if you leave a career, you cannot return to it next term. Doesn't say anything about not being able to go back to that career again if you fail the.
Initial enlistment roll. However, you will have a -1 to the roll in addition to everything else because you've had a career before.
Yeah. When
Aha.
under qualification, it says if you fail this check, you cannot enter your chosen career this term. So it
Yep.
sounds like you can try again next turn.
Very well. I think it would be funny if he's desperately trying to be a citizen but winds up being a drifter every time. So I shall try and do that.
Very well.
Citizen roll. So this is education. I need +5. My education is -1, and it's a -1 because I've already had a career.
So -2.
Oh, and it's
This
2d6.
is going to end well.
You need to roll average, a 7. It is the statistically most likely thing, and you
There we go.
failed.
So, once again, they still won't accept me as a citizen, and so I am forced to scavenge the earth again. Automatic. Excellent.
Are we doing all of your terms through then?
That was the intention? Is that okay?
Oh, I thought we'd do one term and then for everyone, and then we go around the second term.
We can do that if you want to remember your place stuff. Oh, hey, Ed is here.
Yeah, Joe.
Hello.
Hello.
Very
Did you
well.
try? Did you try and go? Did you try and get into university? Because this has an additional step that's stolen from Highguard and the other basically advanced education systems from Traveller. They've put it in the core rules.
No, he just went straight for trying to be a citizen and failed dismally.
Okay.
I think with four education, I think you probably decided not against that.
Yeah.
Very well. Well, we'll come back to you, Steph, if you remember your place. Just mark it down.
I shall.
And who wants to be the next person to do their first term? If you don't volunteer, I'm going to select someone.
It's fine. Question: have we decided as a party what we want to do?
Nope, we're just making
'Cause
characters.
Because it's kind of, well, once we've made characters, that kind of tells us what we're going to do. we at least got a plan of what kind of games we want to play. Because Traveller's pretty open. I mean, you can go from everything to military campaigns to, colonists on some. Well,
It'll be up to you guys. I can say that I'll have like a decent plot hook to kind of get you together.
cool.
But past that, if you guys want to think about like going forward, I know the story will obviously have an effect on kind of what happens to you.
As well, character creation.
Yes, of course. Originally, that's why I was saying that I was going to give you guys a choice from the Traveler skill pack, since that's the most generic and general
Yeah, it's a
option.
good one.
So-
Maybe after we've all had at least one term, we can sort of see where the characters are going, and we might come back to the question.
Right in the lumberyard. That's where we're all going.
Wrong with that?
So who wishes to go next?
I think it's time for a random draft then.
Okay.
I'll go next.
Okay, Stephen, you're next. The macro is still there. How many terms do you wish to have the maximum amount of?
3, so I'll take 2 rolls.
Well, you get if you're taking 3 terms, you actually get 3 rolls because you get 1 roll regardless of how many you pick.
I'll do. Okay. 3 it is then. Where's the macro?
It's in
Discord.
It's in Discord. Yeah, I just put it in there.
Just copy and paste.
Yeah, 3 is what kind of I expected most people to go for, since it's kind of hedges the bets the best.
Then of course you always get awkward ones like Steph who goes for something completely different.
Hey, I was going to go for that as well. It's just I wasn't first.
Thank you, Sil.
That one's pretty good.
Yeah.
All the last 2 are pretty good, actually. I think the last one might be the best.
I agree.
Yeah, that last one's quite good.
Last one it is.
How are you going to assign your stats?
The question: do I play? Well, one of the high ones is going to Dex for sure.
have a feeling you and Steph have learned the importance of dex from past experience.
Yes, you might possibly be right.
Yeah.
Well, it's even more important in this edition because your dodge modifier depends on it as well.
Oh, I see.
And I happen to know that that's a very good way of not dying.
I mean, you can die if you want.
Ow. I'd rather not.
You'd rather not.
Hmm.
Well, let's see here.
So I've gone with 7 strength, 9 intellect, 10 dex, 10 education, 7 endurance, and 7 social.
Excellent. That means you're going to get, I think, 4 background skills. Because you have a 10 in education, correct?
That's right. That's right. 1 mod, so it's 3 plus 1. Yeah. Okay. Does this still work by choosing your home world?
There's just a list of background skills.
Oh yes. Okay,
It's on page 8 of the book.
I got it. I've actually got a hard copy of this book, although this is about the second time I've ever opened it. I think I'm going to take carouse.
That's a good one.
I'm going to take the things I don't think I'm going to get from my professions. So I'm going to take carouse, drive,
Vaccine?
I might get Vaxsuit, but I don't know. Yeah, I will take Vaxsuit anyway because it's so important. Vaxsuit, flyer, actually. Vaxsuit, flyer, carouse, and is profession still a way of making money in this?
I'm not overly familiar, so you have to look in the book.
Looking now.
You get 250 credits times the effect of the check. So
yes.
So just as effect the number you exceed by 8 by.
The number you feed the target number by. So if it's hard, it won't be 8. It's 10 you're going for. Nope, I don't think I want a profession then.
Very well.
I think I'll go for something else.
Are you considering university?
Definitely.
What was your social?
7.
Well, you will have to roll for it.
Chili. This is Traveller. You have to roll
Yes.
for everything.
If you're not rolling forward, Traveller's complaining.
The art they have on that page is like pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not, Great picture.
Yeah, well, I know Matt Sprang personally. He's a total chancer.
I have a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Does the pre-career education count as a term?
No.
Okay.
Wait,
No.
so you
So
graduate university at 18?
No, it actually says this usually takes place in the traveller's first term.
Oh, okay.
In
does
place
it?
of a
Place
career. Mm-hmm.
That's fine. I'll still do it.
Although it can be delayed until the third term if a term or two in a career is desired.
Mm-hmm. Just note that if you delay it, it gives you DM-1 if on term 2 and DM-2 if on term 3. So for entry. So the longer you hold off on university, the harder it gets to go back.
Ain't that the truth?
They're modeling the real world almost.
Yay!
What did you roll here? A 7.
7.
That's a success.
Welcome to university.
Good thing you had that +1.
So you get to choose level 0 and level 1 from a list, and increase your education by 1.
That was what I was really going for.
To increase your education by 1.
Yeah,
Well, you'll also get to roll to graduate as well.
that's right.
And if you graduate, then it's much
So my
better.
education goes up by 2. Yeah, I know.
Oh, do you we've got an event? We've got events as well.
But the thing I like about university is no survival role.
Do you get events in university?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have an event for events during pre-education. It's a completely different list.
Oh, I
On the
see it
page.
here. It's on page 15.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens to you at university, Stephen.
Let's hope it's not like real university. They gave me a job and I was still there 30 years later.
We're gonna see what you get on the table.
Yeah, just a second. I know you're all eager. I can hear the jackals circling for blood. I'm still
Well-
working out my skills.
The thing is, the event can be either really awesome or really horrible.
I just love his view of us, so we'll be searching like jackals for blood.
It's true though.
Don't worry, we're gonna be doing it on yours too, Michael.
I was more thinking that I was more thinking that I'm more like a vulture waiting to pick over the bones, but
It's very nice. It's very nice that you have the presence of mind to wait till I'm dead.
And I thought I was the scavenger.
I know.
too many years playing D&D. As soon as the character drops to the floor dead, everyone just dives on them and strips them naked.
So, what kind of D&D have you been playing?
You'd be surprised. I have actually been in D&D campaigns where a player's characters basically has died, and as soon as they've hit the floor, the two of the team are already on them to strip all the items off them.
No mourning at all, eh?
No, I wouldn't mind, but we were still in the fight at the time.
Welcome to Murder Hobo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically, excuse me, monster.
That is literally the most murder hobo thing I've ever heard in my entire life. The combat's still on. And you're robbing
And
the
stripping your dead
party members. Died.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with that. They've just been to the Yarrow School of Role Playing.
It was terrible.
Take his fucking boots.
Yeah. Particularly,
He's got
as
nothing
it was
guns.
twice. It was my character that they did it to, so was not happy.
So, do I roll to graduate first, or do
No,
I
you roll on the
to-
table first, because depending on what you get, like some of the options will actually prevent you from graduating.
God damn it!
Some of them might help with your graduation.
Welcome to Traveler.
Wake up, it's time to die.
No, I don't think any of them involve
What do you
dying.
mean, welcome to Traveller? I was playing this game before any of you were born, most likely.
You get a life event, Stephen.
Page 44.
I hate those.
Hey!
Now you get another chance to roll on a table that could be a blessing or a curse.
I hate you, God.
A 6. New relationship.
Excellent, excellent.
You become involved in a romantic relationship. Gain an ally. Do you
How
have
do
any
you look?
ideas of what sort of ally you want?
Well, it does say a romantic relationship, so I suppose I'd better get married.
You don't have to get married.
Yeah, it's the future.
Hey, what am I saying?
Well, technically, the improved relationship above it would be the one that would result getting married. The romantic relationship involving you deepens, possibly leading to marriage.
Okay, get girlfriend then.
Very well. Is this girlfriend going to be with you on the station?
Oh, is this a connection you want to make to one of us?
Oh yeah, you can make it to another player character.
We'll talk about that later, maybe.
Just note it down for now, and we can figure it out a little bit later on.
I have.
But you do get a chance to graduate now, if it makes you feel any better.
It really doesn't.
Very well. Graduation is intelligence 7+. If 11+ is rolled, you graduate with honors.
Oh, I just graduated. I scraped through.
Just scrape through.
You did it though.
So,
That +1 intelligence did you good.
Dirtbag school's in session.
increase your level 0 to level 1 and your level 1 to level 2. +2 education. +1 dice modifier for a bunch of careers. And if you're going in the army, you can roll for a commission. Or the navy and stuff.
And it's +2 on that roll.
Best of all, my education goes up by 2 to 13.
That is an excellent score. I think that's actually a +2.
Yeah.
What did you graduate in? What is your highest skill?
Computers. Electronics computers.
Uh-huh.
Excellent.
My character's name is Kurt Avon. which Ellie will know the significance of.
Oh
Oh
god.
dear, are you actually going to play him like Avon?
You've never heard his Avon voice before?
No, I'm not sure I want to.
I was aiming for his head.
Yeah, Avon was always the one that was always the scariest of the bunch because he'd have stabbed you in the back without blinking.
It wasn't that bad. He actually had a conscience, if just a small amount. He actually had more of a conscience. He did have more of a conscience than Blake did.
Yeah, I suppose, but
Anyways,
driven.
I believe that concludes your first term, so we shall take someone else.
Oh,
Can I make my commission roll first?
Oh yes, make your commission roll if you wish.
Avon is going into the agent branch.
Oh my.
Oh dear.
Oh wow.
So do you get in automatically from that?
I think it gives you a bonus. Let me see.
+1. Graduation grants you +1, and if
To qualify, yeah. So you.
to qualify, and it also grants me +2 on the first commission roll.
Oh,
It,
that's
it
all-
also it also makes you start out as a rank 1 officer as well.
Only if you make the commission roll, but you don't. There isn't a commission for agent.
No, that's probably true. Actually, there isn't.
No, it's only on military.
That's right.
Can you select the agent role out of that?
Yeah, it does say agent, army, citizen, corporate, entertainer, journalist, marines, navy, scholar, or scouts.
Well, it says below, it says graduation allows the commission role to be taken before the first term of a military career.
Yeah, agent isn't a military career. Basically, when you go into a military career, you can attempt to go in as an officer and make a commission role, then you'd start as an officer rather than as just a private or equivalent.
NCO. NCO is what it means.
So I think it would be army then?
Army,
Or
Marine,
Marine.
Navy.
Yeah. I don't think
helps on
agent
those.
qualifies.
Nope, most ones.
So I'm done then for this term.
Indeed.
Next.
Next. Who is next?
Okay, let's get this pain over and done with.
It is
Michael.
really painful.
Yeah, you don't know.
How many rolls do you want? I'm assuming
I'm
one.
I'm going to go for 3 attempts, 3 skill rolls. I'm only going to have.
Wait, that's three.
I'm going
three
to have 3 terms. So I'm going to have 3 stat rolls.
Excellent.
I hope.
Ooh.
Well, the good news is you can't die in this version. Sticking to your guns, I see. Well, that one's not too bad.
I think can I?
I like that last one.
Classic
Yeah,
Michael.
Traveler does not like me. Okay.
I think the last one's probably the best, but
I think I'm going to have to take that last one.
good thing you took 3 rolls.
Yeah. Oh boy, that's
Shame you didn't take 4.
Yeah, I don't think you can do that.
You can take up to 4. That's the max.
Yeah.
Don't feel too bad. As long as you don't go on the injury table, you'll definitely get
Yeah, no, trust me, this is me. I will go on the injury table several times, quite
I
probably.
know. I know. I'm just trying to give you at least hope for the next 5 minutes.
Thanks.
You get to assign your attributes, where you
Yeah,
list your characteristics.
Okay. Well, the base idea for my background's gone out the window, but I will have the 11 on my endurance. One of those 8s will have to go on education.
You can always put education low, like on a 3.
The other 8 is going to have to go on to Dex.
A 3 is actually still only a -1, to be fair.
Yeah. Intellect will be 6. Strength will be 4. And social will be 3. So, okay. There we go. Endurance of 11. Dex and education of 8. Intellect of 6. Strength of 4. And really not very high on the social ladder with a 3. That'll be fun. Alright, background skills.
Did I give you a character sheet?
Yes, I've got it.
Which one is it?
I've changed the name to Richard Gibson.
Ah, I see it.
Okay. Now, do I gamble on the fact I'll get into what I want to get into, which should give me vac suit straight away, or not?
That is up to you.
Okay. I'll take drive, and I'll risk vac suit. Just in case I don't make what I wanted.
Very well.
that's my background. Skills picked. And now I'm going to attempt to go into university.
Following in Steven's footsteps.
I'd already planned on university, so...
Even if you hadn't, it would be a wise decision considering his experience with the system.
Yeah. So, that's education. 7. This is...
2d6, and if your education's high enough, you get to add 1.
No, it's not. 6, so that's not enough. Bother.
Now you get to decide on your new career.
Okay, well, let's go straight for what I was hoping to get into, which is marine.
Very well. Can you pick anything when you fail to get into university, or do you still have to go with the other options?
According to the flowchart, you can just choose your career if you fail.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then there's no risk in not trying, then, I guess.
No, you can just go. It's just basically you attempt to get into university, fail, and then go into your career.
Excellent.
So I'm going to try and be in marine, which requires an endurance of 6+. So,
Empty endurance, then. We shall see if you can succeed. That is a success, just barely.
just about scraped in. So I didn't need to take that vac suit. Oh well.
Good thing you have a +1.
Yeah. So I get at level 0 all those service skills. Useful.
Are you going to go into support, Star Marine, or ground assault?
Star Marine.
Excellent. Very appropriate choice considering the setting.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
There's actually a game mode in Star Citizen called Star Marine.
Gun combat and stealth. I can shoot things. Not very well, but I can shoot things. Right, so that's my basic skills.
Do you want to roll for survival?
Not particularly. Okay, let's try this again.
You just need a 6+.
Oh, I survived.
Congratulations, you survive.
Which allows me to roll on one of these tables, doesn't it?
It allows you to roll on the... I think you roll on the event table first, correct?
Yeah, so I rolled 2. This is the... Okay.
Don't roll a 2.
No, I rolled a 3.
Ooh. Trapped behind enemy lines, you have to survive on your own. Gain 1 survival, stealth 1, deception 1, and or streetwise 1. So you get to pick one of those. So that's actually pretty excellent.
Yeah, that was pretty useful. I will... I think I will have stealth of 1.
Awesome.
If the system let me put my stealth up to 1. There we go. I have stealth of 1. As a level 0 enlisted marine, I also get gun combat 1 of any and melee blade 1.
Indeed. Wait, one of either one of those. You have to pick one.
Yeah, well, I think I'll go for gun combat. Gun combat is now
Very well.
1.
Well, you have to pick a weapon, but you can do that later.
Yeah, and I will attempt to make an advancement roll.
Very well.
Okay, no modifiers on this, so straight. Nope, I stay a bog standard grunt, and that ends my turn. Oh no, I've got my roll.
You do get your training, I believe.
Yeah, so I will roll on the Star Marine, as I am a Star Marine.
Very well. Give us your d6.
A 3. So
Increase your gunner
Gunner.
by 1.
didn't have a gunner skill, so I now have gunner skill of 1. They gave me a big gun. That's not a good
I
idea.
believe gunner is more like turrets in a spacecraft, but
Yeah.
That is
Give me
correct.
yeah. And that's basically my first turn done.
very well. Who wishes to go next? I believe we have Seraphim, Alan, and Edja left.
Hey, if this is going to be on Twitch, can we not broadcast my real name?
Oh, sorry. We can say Zil.
Anything you say, Alan. I'm getting it in before we go onto Twitch.
You're now on a hit list somewhere.
Oh dear.
So who wishes to go next? I can always roll a d3.
I
It-
can give it a try.
Very well. Seraphim, give it a try. How many terms do you wish?
Let's say 2.
So you want 4 stat rolls then?
Mhm.
Very well. Ooh.
I think I know which one I'm taking.
Can I take that roll, please?
No.
I think every single one of those has a +1 modifier.
Yeah, they're all great, good rolls.
Your character is now awesome. Don't mess it up with your tutu.
I will try.
Turn 1, die.
We're not playing with Iron Man rules, so you can't die. You just lose all your stats, like poor stuff over here. Oh, I'm sorry, Steph. The frowny face. So you get to assign where you want your characteristics.
Mhm.
Let's see here. You don't have any 12s, do you?
No.
So you'll get 4 background skills after that, which will be very nice. I think you have the best stat roll so far.
I imagine it's probably going to be the best one of
Prob-
a lot of us.
Probably so.
Okay, let's see. I think I want to take for background skills. In a place like this, vac suit sounds useful.
Vac-suit is useful in any Traveller game.
Yes.
I'll take that. Art. Athletics and streetwise.
Very well. Where do you wish to go with your career? Do you want a background career, or do you want or a pre-career education, or do you wish to go straight into it?
Let's try for university.
Very well. Considering your social is, I don't know where you put it, but I can guarantee that it's at least a 9. So
Yep.
I believe that gives you a +1 on your roll. So with your education modifier, you'll have a +2 on your roll. Oh, no.
Well, okay.
Well, you didn't lose anything.
Yeah, so career.
University wasn't right for you.
It's pretty much anyone is going to be a good career.
I'm just imagining your character now as like the lazy genius. You're from a good family and you're good at everything.
Let's go with attempting entertainer.
Very well. Qualification is Dex or Intelligence 5+.
Well, they're both a +1, so
Let's see what you get. That is definitely a success.
Okay. So you get your service skills, I guess.
Okay.
It is the service skills that are basic training, isn't it?
For most careers, not all of them.
Mhm.
Yep. And are you going to be an artist, a journalist, or a performer?
We'll say performer. And I think I already had half those skills anyway, so
I do think that you get them. Do you get them at 0 or 1? Did we say?
If it's at basic training, you get them at 0.
I see. Well, you do get to roll for your survival next. Performer is actually pretty easy to survive. Just don't roll a 2 or a 3 and you're okay.
okay. Which stat am I rolling?
Intelligence, but all your stats are +1 at this point, I think. So.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, not jealous at all.
That's a success. You have survived. Now you get to roll for your event.
So just a straight 2d6.
Mm-hmm. A 9. You go on tour of the sector, visiting several worlds. Gain D3 contracts. Or contacts, sorry.
Mm.
3 contacts. Just note that down for now and we'll figure out who your contacts are
Okay,
later.
will do. Okay.
And then you get to roll for advancement, I believe.
Mhm.
That's definitely a success. And then
You
finally...
roll all my rolls for the rest of the
So, go ahead and pick your skills and training. You get to pick 2, either personal development, service skills, or performer on the list.
You also gain Art 1 if you don't already have it.
Indeed.
Oh, okay.
Racking it up, I see.
Okay, so I can pick one thing from personal development, service skills, or performer?
I believe since you advanced, you get to roll twice. Is that correct?
Yeah.
You get 1 roll for being in the thing for a term, and you get another one every time you advance.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'll do 1 roll on personal development first, and then 1 on performer.
Very well. Your carouse goes up by 1.
Okay.
Did you already have it?
I think so, yes.
Was it at 1 or 0?
0.
Oh, darn. Oh, but then you get carouse again for performers. Now your carouse is at 2, I believe. Which is the max that you can roll for our game. So.
Okay, so if I get any more in carouse, it's wasted.
Well, you re-roll.
Oh, reroll. Okay. Okay, that's good. I think that's me done.
Mm-hmm. Now the question is, Zil or Mule, who wishes to go next?
I don't mind going if Mule doesn't.
Very well.
Yeah, I'll go last. I'm still wrapping my head around some of the things.
You can start us off then, Zill.
Okay. All of the information I've just learned as we've gone through this is now out of my head, and I have no idea what to do.
How many terms do you wish to take?
I was going to take 4, but I don't want to be crap.
You get 2 rolls if you take 4.
Sorry, Steph. Yeah, I'm going to go 3 and 3. I also don't want to end up being the oldest bugger on the bloody thing.
You also don't want to end up dead.
And to be honest, Steph wouldn't have been that bad if he hadn't failed the injury.
Well,
Right, so
I think you
just-
can actually die in this game if you roll low enough, like where your stat hits 0.
Yep.
But it's difficult to do, to say the least.
Okay, there's 1. That's not bad.
That's a pretty good one. You should have taken 5 terms.
That's not any better. I did say I was going to take 3, so...
Yep.
Okay.
I think your first one was the best.
Yeah. Oh well. Never mind.
You didn't know that before you rolled, so.
Yeah. So let's see, I've got a 7, I've got an 8, I've got another 8, I've got another 7, got another 7. Oh, jackpot.
Doesn't really earn you much in this game.
Let's just see which ones.
You only have 1 plus 1, I think.
Oh, Christ. Okay, I could deal with that. That's not too bad.
And where are you putting your plus 1?
I'm going to put that in sock. I'm going to put the 2 8s in int and edu, and then 7 7 7.
Very well. Then I think you get to pick 3 background skills.
Okay. What page is the list on?
Page 8.
Right. Let's see. Admin, animals, art, athletics, carouse, drive, electronics, fire, language. Mechanic, radio impression. Okay. Background. I'm going to pick carouse. I'm going to pick science. I'm going to pick drive. Okay. So next is career or pre-career.
Indeed.
I am going to attempt to enroll in university.
A wise choice. Make your education roll.
Okay. So I get a modifier for being SOC 9 plus, right?
Indeed, you get a plus 1.
So it's 2d6 plus 1.
Congratulations, you were accepted into university.
Yay.
You get to increase your education by 1.
Okay, so that goes up to 9. So choose level 0 and oh, how do specialties work?
I believe that you pick something specific, but then you only get a bonus on that specific thing. Maybe Stephen could clarify that.
Yeah, basically, once you get once you get a 1, you have to pick a specialization if it's a cascade, what's called a cascade skill, which
Okay.
has different benefits. And then if you're not rolling in your specialism, you get 1 less skill level. So, you know, say somebody got art earlier on, and they had 1, and that was, I don't know, sculpture, and they decided to, you know, write a play or whatever, it wouldn't, they'd only have 0 in that.
Okay, so since I got art 1, do I have to choose a speciality in art?
I think so.
Okay, I can do that. But not all skills have specialities? Is
That's
that right?
correct. That's correct.
Okay.
Some are very focused already.
Okay, so I'm gonna have medic 1. I've already got science 0.
Mm.
I think I'll go. Well, I'll just have a look at engineer. Yeah, I'm gonna go with engineer 0.
Very well. Now
Okay.
you get to see if you graduate.
Oh, do I roll an event first? I think.
Oh yes, an event first, of course.
2d6.
I'm getting a table up. Alright. 10. Do you want me to read it out?
Sure, you can read it out.
A new-
Jesus, you have to roll 9 plus.
A newly arrived tutor rubs you up the wrong way, and you work hard to overturn their conclusions. Roll 9 plus on any skill you have learned during this term. If successful, I provide truly elegant proof that soon becomes the standard approach. Gain a level in that skill, and I gain the tutor as a rival.
So do you only get the tutor's rival if you succeed then?
Yeah. So if I succeed, I get a boosted skill and a rival, and if I fail, nothing happens.
Understood.
Okay. So I'm going to use my medical skill, because I get a +1. Oh well. Nothing happens.
Indeed. Your tutor tutors you and teaches you the proper ways.
Let's see if during graduation he gets his own back.
Okay. And graduation is int 7 plus.
Yes.
So if you fail, we know why.
It's your tutor's fault. Blame the tutor.
Ooh, I graduated with honours.
They hate the others. You obviously picked an academic who everyone else hated. So
Yeah, so they basically made. Yeah. Oh,
Shut up, cat. I graduate with honours. Leave me alone.
Congratulations. You get to increase your respective skills by 1 each.
Okay.
The ones
So
you picked before.
Engineer goes up to 1. Medic goes up to 2.
Indeed. And then you also get to increase your education by an additional +2.
So that rises to 11. Nice.
Then, for your next term, I do believe you get +2. On
I
your
get
roll.
+2 if I want to be a commissioned officer.
Yes, but you also get a +2 if you pick one of the listed.
it's a plus, it's a
following
plus one.
careers.
Oh, indeed.
Yeah, I think it's a +1, isn't it? For
There's +2 if it was with honours.
Yeah, plus honors
Oh.
increases the bonus by 1.
Okay. Well, that's my term done with.
Did you want to go ahead and pick your next term real quick? Because I think everyone else has been doing that.
Oh, okay.
I'm changing mine.
Yeah, I'll wait.
Okay. Very well. Edja, you are our last one. Are you ready?
I guess, but you're gonna have to baby me through it because
Very well. Have you been listening in? Kind of have an idea?
I'm not sure if anybody went for it, but I think I'd like to be a physician, so
Does anyone else have medic? I think
That's-
Steph might have. No, Steph was an
I-
engineer.
I have medic too.
Oh, you have medic
I've
too.
got it.
So we do have another physician.
I've just gone to doctor school.
oh, you went to doctor school. Okay.
I mean, we can have more than one doctor.
The categories.
Useful when the doctor inevitably gets shot.
Yep.
Well, how many terms were you thinking about, Edja?
I think, well, 3 seems to be a good one.
3 is the standard. 3 and 3 rolls is the standard that most people have taken.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Very well. Go ahead and roll 3 times then. If you look in Discord, you can copy paste that.
Don't,
I saw
don't,
it.
Don't feel bad about being the cautionary tale, Steph.
It happened to me last time.
That one's not too bad, actually.
Better than that one.
The second one is very average.
Definitely don't take the third one.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend the third one.
So, the second one has a +1, and I don't think any negatives.
Yes.
But the first one has 3 +1s, but it has 2 -1s.
So it depends if you want to be good at some things and bad at other things, or if you want to be an all-arounder.
I think I'll go with an all-arounder. I'll take the second one.
Very well. You now get to look at your stats on your sheet and pick where you want to put them. If you need help with what they do, we can assist
Yeah.
you.
Please do.
Does someone else want to describe them? Maybe Steven? I can describe them if you wish.
Well, they're pretty similar to D&D, but the difference is that social is not charisma. It's your social standing within the empire, or whatever you want to call it, the UEE. So it has a different function, but it's used in the same sorts of settings. The difference between this and D&D is the importance of these skills in the actual game, because strength is not really that important unless you want to be a martial artist or something like that. So the most important skills in the game, the most important stats in the game, I would say, are Dex and Education, with endurance and intellect coming next. Unless you want to be someone who's got a high social standing, in which case it flips around a little bit.
If you're wanting to be a doctor, having a good education and intellect, I think, might be important.
Correct.
Yeah.
And dexterity, because actually doing medicine, like surgery, is a medicine dexterity check.
Yeah. And for career progression, you definitely need a good education.
Well, she only gets 1 + 1, I believe, and everything else is just neutral.
I guess I'll dump strength at a 6.
Very well.
And get an 8 for dexterity. I'll go with another 8 in education. Another 8 in intellect.
You have your 9 and I think a 7 left.
Yeah.
9 is a +1.
I'll go with social 9.
Very well. You have a +1 social.
And endurance is left with a 7.
Mm-hmm. You have the book open up at the moment.
Yep.
Go ahead and hop over to page 8. And you should be able to see the background skills. You get to pick 3 of those. Anyone want to make any recommendations to her?
Back suit is always a good one.
I think
Okay.
considering we're starting on a space station, it would make relative sense for most people who live or move there to have it.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Back to it is. So 2 more?
Mm-hmm.
I think from what I've gathered, if you're going to be taking medical careers, you probably don't need to start with medic as a background skill.
Right, that's correct. Generally, the best strategy is to try and pick skills for background that you don't think you're going to be you're going to get from your career options later on.
So maybe something like drive or flyer, electronics or language even. I'm not really sure what medic careers give you skill-wise.
What
If
does
you-
profession do?
It's a skill for making money out of doing something. So you're providing a product or service.
It's like hairdresser or typesetter or something like that. Cook. So the main career for being like a doctor or physician would be the scholar career.
Yeah.
And
It gives you medic, electronics, investigate, persuade, and science. And there's also possibly diplomat, investigate.
Don't forget the possibility of university.
Yep, that's correct.
Mm-hmm.
Are you interested in university?
Yeah, I think I am.
It's always worth trying for, at least.
Yeah. I'm gonna take language, back suit, and drive, I think.
Very well. Does language give you another language in this game?
I'd have to look it up.
We'll come back to it later. So, do you want to try to get into university then?
Yes.
Very well.
What do I do for that?
It's going to be 2d6 plus, well, I think your education is a 0, so, but you do have a 9 plus social, which means you get a +1 on the roll, so 2d6 plus 1, and you need a 7. Congrats.
Nice.
You made it into university.
At least some of us did.
Now you get to pick one skill from the following list to be level 0 and one skill from the following list to be level 1. It's on page 14.
I think I'll take science as 0
Mm-hmm.
and electronics as 1.
Nice.
Very well.
If you take electronics at 1, you need to choose a specialization. Bear in mind, I have electronic computers at 2, so we kind of got that covered. But there's lots of other ones.
Do you know what the list is for those?
The specialisms are comms, which is communications of all kinds, remote operations, which is using telepresence to control drones, missiles, or robots, or sensors, which is to use and interpret data from electronic sensor devices. And there's also computers, which we already have, but sometimes it's useful to have two people because you have two teams.
I think I can go with sensors.
Nice. Sensors are important.
Very well. Now you get to roll on the event table, which is just 2d6.
Five.
Taking advantage of youth, you party as much as you study. Gain carouse 1.
Oh, yay!
Party girl.
What is carouse, by the way?
It's
The
like,
art of socializing,
yeah.
having fun, and ensuring other people have fun. So it's basically social awareness and subterfuge. So you do things like the examples they give are drinking someone under the table or gathering rumors at a party. So it's quite useful for in Traveller for basically, say we're trying to find out where a cargo is, you'd find out who the supervisor was and you'd take them for a drink and then basically get them drunk and find out what you want to know. And that's a carouse roll. It's very useful.
Very well.
You know what they say, Etcha? In vino veritas.
Exactly.
Next, you get to roll to see if you graduate.
Oh dear.
Just 2d6, I believe, unless you're. And I don't think your intelligence is +1, so. Oh, don't forget that you got your education increased to 9.
Oh. Lovely.
Now that's a +1 as well. But yep, it's intelligence to graduate, so. The dice are going to have to decide for you.
Yeah. Let's go. Come on,
The
guys.
dice are nice.
Oh no.
No.
It appears the party girl had a little too much wine.
I partied too hard.
You're a credit to the Union of Students. I knew many like you.
I had my fun. I'm done.
Very well.
Unlike some who went to university, you at least found the library as your education increased by 1.
Very well. I think that's everyone's initial term, correct?
I think so.
Correct. We're back to Steph.
Back to Steph.
Oh god.
Good old
Did
Steph.
anyone have any ideas for connections yet?
We'll see what events.
Yeah, let's see what the events are.
The connections rule.
What we have to bear in mind is anybody who's got a different number of terms from the other people is going to end up a different age. So for instance, everyone who's taken 3 terms are all going to be the same age. So say 2 of us had events at university, we could join up more easily. But if somebody was doing 4 terms, they're going to be 4 years older than us. So they were the sort of tranche before us. So
if you can, to make this a little easier, right click on your name and rename and put whatever number of terms you're taking next to your name so we can kind of just keep track of it.
So the rule thing, I'll just read it out. It says, if 2 players agree, then any event rolled for one traveller can involve another. Only one traveller needs to have rolled the specific event, though you will find it more exciting if travellers can link events together. If an event can be linked between 2 travellers, then both get 1 extra skill of your choice. You may gain a maximum of 2 free skills from the connections rule, and each connection must be with a different traveller.
What page is this?
Page 17.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, for example, I think someone had a tutor. Was that you, Zil?
Sorry?
You had a
Oh,
tutor?
yeah. I had a someone who was a dickhead.
So
Was
that dickhead could be another player.
Hello.
I'm not sure what you were doing tutoring me at university.
You never went to university, dude.
Yeah, I imagine you would have had to actually have gone to university and been probably a class older.
How about Etcher and I know each other because she was always in the bar. And I tried to get her through her studies but failed.
Just party.
It's quite
Yes.
possible.
Indeed. I think I know the skill that we should both increase by 1 carouse.
Has everyone got like names and like?
I don't think most
their
people have
characters are?
chosen names yet, except
I'm
for
still trying to think.
Michael. Let's see. We can go on and change your name, Michael.
I want to see what my the stat line would be before I pick that kind of thing.
I wish there was a way of creating a picture for the character. Can't figure it out.
Very well. That's one person's name changed. See. Let's just go through real quick too with this. Edja, how many terms did you have? 3?
Yep.
Michael, how many did you have?
3.
Stuff?
4 terms.
You're gonna need him.
Don't be cruel.
Seraphim?
I think I went with just 2.
2 terms? You did get good stats out of it. See, Steven, you have 3?
Yeah.
And finally, Zil.
3.
So, there's only 2 people who have different number of terms, I think. Seraphim, you're gonna be the baby.
Mm-hmm.
And Seraphina, Stuff, you're gonna be the old one. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, did anyone have any other ideas for ways to link each other, or do we want to move on to Stuff's next role?
I mean, I've got 3 blank contacts from going on tour, so question mark? Maybe I played a gig at a university?
Met 2 party goers.
You actually don't want to use your contacts up that way because they're people who could be useful to the party. So you don't really need to use the contacts up to form associations. Just as we go through character creation, if somebody rolls an event like that mentions something specific, or even if it doesn't,
right, okay.
then you can say, you know, that was me. If you can think of a way of getting your character in there.
Okay, I see.
It's like Edger and I basically got caroused by drinking a lot at university.
So you went. You must have. So that's helpful because that means you must have went to the same university.
Indeed.
Exactly.
You can decide on the name of that university together and where it was.
Well, my homeworld's Terra.
Ooh. A university on Terra.
I haven't picked my home world yet.
Yeah, was it Edger who picked language?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I put in chat what language 0 means. Basically, it means you understand a smattering of phrases in lots of different languages, like Xi'an and the other alien languages. So that would be useful.
And should you get it to language 1, you then start picking languages you specialize.
I know how to say cheers in all languages.
Skull.
Another thing I will mention is I put this in the character creation rules, but everyone's expected to have like friends or family or other people with them on the station who they, know. Like you're not just like some person who just randomly showed up like an adventure one day. Like you actually have some sort of connection to it. So keep that in mind as you're building out.
Where in the timeline are we with relation to the Vandal?
Let me double check here. I think we are in 2935. So I think that was after some of the Vandal stuff happened, I believe.
So let me check the timeline.
I have the timeline actually linked, so I can bring it up here. There's a nice website called Citizen History that has...
Yeah, I know it.
When are we?
Is it 2954 or something?
So what date is it?
It is 2935. It is early in the month of January, so we're going to be starting the campaign. But keep in mind, that means your characters are probably from earlier. I will also mention that your character doesn't have to be like the exact dividend of 4, even though you're in 4-year terms.
Yeah, sure.
You could be like, instead of like 24, you could be like 23 or however you want to parse it out. That way we don't have everyone who's like, oh, I'm the exact same age as you.
How can it coincidental?
No one in this world appears to be anything but a number that's divisible by 4.
And all our birthdays are on the same day.
Yes! What a coincidence!
I'm all of a sudden 4 years older.
Let's see, 2935. It's before the new Hornet was introduced. The frustration of the masses. The Vandal attacked Squadron 42 at 2910. So the game takes place 25 years after the Vandal attacked Squadron 42. That should give you an idea, Stephen.
Excellent. Then I know what my background is.
Yeah, that probably coincides with some of your younger years for your characters. If I'm correct.
Yep.
For those who don't know, do you want to explain a little bit about the Vandal, Stephen?
I was just going to say I missed what you were just saying, so I was looking up a name list for me.
Well, I can give the history rundown if you don't want to, Stephen, but I think you might be more familiar with it than I am.
I don't know. I'm more familiar with the deep history because I've not really looked into it. But essentially, the game of Star Citizen in the recent history is that it was kind of an expansionistic, semi-imperial power. The United, whatever it was. I mean, I think it was United Nations of Earth.
Mm-hmm, that's what.
And the United, I can't remember. There was an acronym that they went through, but eventually, they became rather more unpleasant, and started bashing the Tavarin around, who are an alien race. The Tavarin were basically aggressive, but still, I think it's fair to say the UEE went a little bit far in bashing
Mhm.
them. And then out of that arose an emperor who was basically not a very nice person. And there were all sorts of things like secret police and other things that basically tainted human history. And that the name of that particular individual was Ivar Messer. So the Messer era in United Earth Empire politics is sort of really not something that anyone particularly wants to remember. And during his reign, we'd already met 3 alien races: the Tavarin, who now have no homeworld because we basically destroyed it, and who are wanderers through our territory and through the territory of the other aliens. The Xi'an, who are like, I don't know, I guess I would describe them as almost, they don't look like them, but they are space elves. They're more technologically advanced than we are, and their aesthetic sense is all the technology they make is kind of beautiful. And the Banu, who are basically crazy merchants who buy and sell anything, including their own relatives, as
Yep.
far as I can tell. And the fourth alien race is a completely violent one and a warrior race, and they're the Vandal. And they attacked the United Earth Empire without provocation, at least according to official stories. And we've basically kind of been at war with them for quite a long time, although it blows hot and cold, and they've taken quite a number of star systems. And yes, that's pretty much. Just trying to remember when we first came into contact with the Vandal.
I'm not sure. I do know the Banu actually trade with them.
Yeah, they do. Which is one of the things that's always made me wonder if the Messers actually did something to the Vandal. First Vandal raids were in 2680, so we've known about them for a long, long time.
Yep. Anyways.
Well, Steph, what's your character's name?
Barry.
Barry Hackett.
I fear I know what this means.
Well, we shall move along. Steph, I believe it is your turn.
Yes, I've already rolled to try and become citizen, and I failed. And so I am returned to being a drifter. I should return to my job as a belter and go into scavenging again.
Very well.
Right. Now, what do I roll next? Do I roll events again?
I believe you need to roll survival before anything else.
Ah, yes, of course. Let's see if I'm alive.
Dex 7+.
Excellent.
You have not survived, I'm afraid.
I know.
You get to roll on the mishap table, I believe.
Indeed.
This is our first mishap roll.
Aren't you lucky?
It's
No, 1d6.
a 1d6, yes.
1.
A 1. Severely injured. Oh my god. Are you gonna
No.
die in character creation?
Could very well happen.
This is the same as the result 2 on the injury table. Alternatively, roll twice on the injury table and take the lower result.
Where's the...
Let's see. I'm scrolling down here. A 2 is severely injured. Reduce 1 physical characteristic by 1d. So 1d6.
Right.
Or you could roll twice and then take the lower results.
Remember, I gambled, Steph, and remember how it turned out.
Yeah, I remember.
I mean, you can get a 1 and get nearly killed.
At a strength and endurance of 1 after character generation.
Yeah. Right.
What do you wish to do?
I'll kill myself.
The way you're going to kill the character's
Yeah.
going to kill themselves fairly soon.
Indeed.
Oh gosh.
Well, I don't want to lower my endurance because that's how I survive being a worker, and that's what I want. So I'll Oh, these. Oh, I get a -2 to everything else as well, don't I?
No, not for this
No.
one. This
Oh,
is severely injured. Last time you got nearly killed.
Yeah. Very well. 1d6
So you're
off my
getting
dex.
better.
I'm getting better. 1d6. 4.
Oh gosh, you didn't want to roll high for that one.
My dex is now 4.
This is not going well.
That was originally 11.
Oh dear. Doing
okay.
well.
Well, I didn't survive, so I believe that's it.
I have a T-shirt that says you haven't lived till you've died in character creation.
Do you still get a roll on the skill and training at all?
No, you lose it.
Oh gosh,
You
that's
You
horrible.
lose it. I know, it's horrific.
Oh,
I'm leaving a career, so I still get 1 benefit at the end.
well, I don't think we're doing the mustering out.
Yeah, we're
for
not doing
stuff.
the mustering out benefits. So basically, you don't get anything for being a drifter.
Uh,
Well, you do if you survive, but not if you don't.
Yeah. Well, as he didn't.
no, when you leave a
Yeah,
career or whatever, you're supposed to get a benefit, but
Yeah.
if we're not doing benefits, then obviously I don't get anything anyway.
Yeah, well,
None of us are.
no one's
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
no one's
okay.
getting benefits. You're just gonna get equipment based on your backstory because I wanted equipment to be a little more. They give you a lot of money in this game by default. So.
If you don't survive your drifter term, what do you do next?
Drifter is always open.
Yeah, you can always do drifter
Okay.
or try the draft.
Well, we shall move on to the next person
A drop.
who wishes to go next.
Stephen's next in the order,
Yeah,
unless we
Stephen's
change
Alright,
order.
okay. Very well.
What career are you going to take?
Navy.
Well,
Excellent.
that's my plan. So maybe we could do a skill thing here, a connection.
Yes. Well,
And me being in Marine, I could do a connection with someone as well.
assuming we get in.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, it is time to roll for that. Qualification is intelligence +6.
I don't actually know if I'm gonna. If Zil plans to go in Navy, I'm not sure I'm going to. Then
Oh,
we don't need two pilots. Very
I'm not
rarely
going to
do.
be a
you-
pilot.
Okay, what are you gonna do?
I think I'm going to go line crew because I'm like ship's doctor rather than.
Ah, gotcha.
yes. Flight is a different table, I
Yep.
think.
It is, yeah.
Nope. You can roll it.
Let me just check. Hold on. Yeah, you actually can't even get pilot if you're line crew.
No. Well, he gets pilot as basic training from service skills. doesn't
Yep.
he?
Yeah, but I think that's just a 0, so it's more of like a backup than a.
Yeah, you can fly the shuttlecraft just in case someone else is knocked out, but you're not going to be there in combat.
Yep.
And you only get 1 skill listed in basic training after your first career.
Oh, that's
This
awesome.
is his first career.
No,
Yeah,
your first
no-
career is university.
No, it says pre-career education. That's
Yeah.
before a
Yep.
career.
It actually specifically says that it's not a career.
Yeah.
It actually does say that.
It takes up a
so-
term, but it's not a career.
Okay.
That's right.
So you get
Just,
to.
I just need to see what remind myself what graduation got me. Hold on, it's +1 to qualify for the following careers.
Yep, you get +1 to qualify, then you also get +1 to your commission roll as well.
Yep, I got in.
A +2 to your commission roll actually for qualifying.
Well, I don't think you got honors, did you?
No, but for,
No, that was ill.
But for graduating, he gets a +2 if on his first career after university he goes into a military. He
Oh.
gets a +2 onto his commission roll.
I thought it was only a
Should he take it?
+1.
No, it's a graduation.
Okay, well, roll with your +2 then.
It says if graduation was with honours, DM +2.
No, that's to qualify.
No,
Graduation
that's
allows
graduation.
Let me
Under
see.
that section, graduation allows a commission role to be taken before the first term of a military career, so long as it is the first career chosen after university. If graduation was with honours, plus DM +2 is graded on this first commission role.
Yep.
So that's what I said.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So you didn't, since he didn't get a plus, he doesn't get the +2 because he didn't graduate with honors.
And I also have a crap sock. Yeah, I do it anyway.
Oh wow, just barely.
Oh, great! He's an officer in the Navy.
That means you get to start out with, I think, Mechanic 1? You're an able space hand, correct?
No, I'm an ensign. Melee Blade 1.
Yep.
You're what?
He's an ensign because he's made the commission role.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
on the next
Start as
page.
an ensign.
Oh, it's on the next page. Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Here.
so he gets melee blade 1 and all the service skills.
Very nice.
I also get 2 advancement rolls because I've made the. Well, I haven't survived yet, so that could be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Where is the survival roll for this?
It is 7+ for a flight if you're doing flight.
Okay.
It's Dex. It's a survival 7+, and then advancement's based on education.
Yep. Well, that's good. Oh, excellent. I'm glad advancement's based on Dex. That's at least something. Or survival was based on Dex.
Survival's a little rough for a fighter pilot. Or I guess just a pilot.
Yeah, tell me about it. Here we go. Yay, just.
That +1
Holy
saved you.
It always saves me.
You managed to zig rather than zag.
That's right.
Now let's see what horrible event kicks you out of the service.
Up your Zill. I'm going to have you on a charge.
He only gets. Actually, you can't get kicked out of the service, I don't think.
I can't, no.
Oh, thank God. You could.
It's
in the
only
other
if you
one.
fail the roll. None of the
So it's, it's events.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Recon 1, Diplomat 1, Steward 1, or a contact. Ooh, I'm going in Recon.
Your vessel participates in a diplomatic mission. Does this diplomatic mission involve anyone else in the group?
Well, assuming I managed to survive, I've been a Marine, it could involve me because I could have been one of the Marines on board the ship.
A nice honor guard.
Yeah, it's an
You
honor guard.
could have an entertainer to entertain at this diplomatic mission.
This is also true. I don't see why.
Do
Why
have a
not?
I do have a social of 9, so perhaps
I'm
my
afraid-
family is important enough to be involved.
Yeah, definitely.
Sounds like a good plan. However you wish to spin it, it is up to you as a group.
So choose a skill to increase basically by 1.
Who's that?
Does it have to be the same one for both of us?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
In fact, it doesn't even have to be. You both get 1 extra skill of your choice. And you can only get 2 free skills as a maximum from this. So I'm not going to use this 1-up as one of my connections from my point of view. This is just from you. So I've used 1-up with Etcha. But definitely, that's how we know each other. A diplomatic mission to the Xi'an or something.
Okay.
It could have been with the Banu. They're known for taking slaves.
They are? Oh, I
Yeah.
like them.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, the thing is, the Banu are all about excelling at whatever you do best. And so, like, even if you're a pirate, they will respect you if you're really good at being a pirate. Same thing with they're involved in, I forget what the name of the sport is that the humans do in the setting, but there's like a sport that the humans do, and the Banu got involved, and they're super serious about it. But then they're also very flaky, so like if the other team starts winning, they'll just all start rooting for the other team and acting like they were that part of that team's fans the entire time.
They're idiots. Anyway, 2 skills.
Yep, 2 skills.
So I'm going to roll on flight first. Gunner.
Oh, did you do your advancement roll yet, too? Because I think that gives you an extra.
I already advanced it. You
Okay,
don't get
gotcha.
2 in a turn.
Oh, I see. And that was on the personal development you said?
No, that was on flight.
Oh, flight. So you get the gunner skill?
That's right. And I'm going to try on... Should I try an advanced education? No, I'm going to try and flight again.
Electronics.
God damn it, I've already got that. I'll have to choose a different specialism.
Or you can increase it, correct?
Yeah, it's not got a number on the table, so it goes up by 1.
I have 2 already.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay, so
So you can either take a different specialization or reroll. I would allow you to reroll if you wanted.
I'll try re-rolling. Yep, that's what I wanted.
Pilot of small craft.
Fighter pilot, basically. Or shuttle pilot.
And I believe, do you have anything else before we move on to the next person?
Nope, go for it.
Very well.
Space Marine.
Yeah, me. Okay, so I have to make my survival roll.
What are you up to currently?
This will be my second career as a Marine.
Very well.
So my survival roll, based on my endurance. Oh, I just about survived.
You made it.
Just
Yep.
barely. Good thing you're not in ground assault.
No, and my advancement roll.
Oh wait, do your event first. That's
And you
what I was
get your
gonna say.
events.
Some of your events can increase your chances of advancing.
Or decrease them.
Yeah.
Okay, for some random reason, my TV just switched on.
6. Oh, it's 2d6 is the event
That's
table.
2d6,
You need
yeah.
another d6. An 11. Your commanding officer takes an interest in your career. Either gain +1 tactics, tactics 1, or DM +4 to your next advancement roll thanks to their aid.
Okay, well, I'll take the DM4 on my next advancement roll. So, let's see if I advance.
You're almost guaranteed. Wait, you are guaranteed unless you have a negative education.
I think a natural 1 is not a natural 1, is it?
Natural 2. I mean,
It's an auto fail.
oh, it's an auto fail even on. So
I make it. So, I'm Lance Corporal. So I get another gun combat 1 with a different weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Just to be confusing.
You also get 2 rolls on the tables.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll roll once on Star Marine because I'm a Star Marine.
Indeed.
And I rolled a 6. I basically, okay, one of my gun combats goes up to 2. I haven't decided what weapons I'm picking, but effectively there's 3 types of guns. So one of them's going to be energy and one of them's going to be slung throwers.
Yep, I will say now all of you are probably going to start out with slug weapons, so.
Okay, and I will roll on personal development for my other one.
Let's see what sort of bonus you get. Endurance, that's a good one.
Ooh, that's useful. My endurance goes up by 1.
Is it up to a +1 yet or no?
It's past +1. It's my endurance was already on 11. It's now on 12. I'm at +2.
Excellent.
Okay. So that's my character done.
I wonder who this officer was who took interest in you.
Yeah, I can't think who that might be.
Only if there was an officer in the
There
military.
was an officer in the top party, Steve.
Indeed.
Yeah, so you could be interested in my career, and
Very well. I will be interested in your career as long as you teach me some gun combat.
it says if an event can be linked between 2 travelers and they both get 1 extra skill, so you could get gun combat if you wanted.
There you go.
And you could teach Richard all about carouse. The carousal.
It doesn't. It just says 1 extra skill of your choice. So.
Yay, I was
Yep.
just...
Do you want recon? Because I know that.
Yes, recon might be useful as a marine.
I've got recon 1, so...
Recon.
Who is next on our list then, as we close out to the next person?
Seraphim is next in the order.
Okay. So I think I'm going to carry on as an entertainer.
Very well.
So that is another survival roll?
Indeed. For you, it is based on intelligence. That's a success.
Okay, and an event?
Indeed. The event is next.
Nice.
A 12.
Maybe not.
You win a prestigious prize. You are automatically promoted. What sort of prize did you win?
I have no idea.
Well, what sort of performance do you do?
I think
Actually-
primarily...
I have an idea. You were sent on
Okay.
this diplomatic mission, and you won a prize for how successful you navigated the situation.
Okay, so like, I think I'm intending to be a singer, so perhaps my performance kind of was captivating enough that the UEE maybe decided that it was pretty helpful in getting the talks to go the way they wanted. So
Very well. We could say it was an international incident with the Banu, who took slaves of someone important.
and then since they like people who are good at things, I proved I was good at things,
Yes.
and so they admire me and are more willing to listen to what we have to say.
Yes. Make sure to note on your character sheet that you have some fame with the Banu. Perhaps mark down one of your contacts as a Banu merchant and we'll figure out who they are later on.
Okay, got it.
And
And
you-
I get +1 rank in performer?
You advance in your promotion, so you go to rank 2 as an entertainer. Or
You don't get any special bonuses.
no, you don't get anything until rank 3 is your next bonus.
But you do get 2 rolls.
Yes, you do get 2 rolls on the tables. You get to pick which
So-
tables.
Is that +1 advancement instead of my advancement roll?
Yeah, you basically you pass automatically.
Okay.
Oh, but if you pass automatically, do you get to roll for advancement and pass again?
No, Steven reminded me because I had known this, but I'd forgotten that you
Uh-huh.
can't advance twice in the same term.
Oh,
However,
okay.
I did actually screw up because it says that I advance as rank 1 from university. So when I entered, I could actually have got another rank. So I have to roll for that later.
Oh, just roll for it the next time your turn comes around.
Sure.
Okay, so I get to pick 2 tables.
Mm-hmm.
I think I will do.
Oh, and did you want to tie your event to someone else? Perhaps.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, I guess if we're saying that, maybe one of the military people was on hand, just in case things didn't go quite so well.
I think we've kind of established that Mike and I were there. So
Yes.
Yeah.
so.
Well,
But I've used up both my connections, so Mike can do it, but I can't.
Yeah. Okay. I was part of the escort.
Oh, did I get to add a skill from you connecting to me?
yeah. Whenever you connect, you get to pick one skill and increase and put it at I think
Okay.
1.
Yeah.
So I don't know what skill I would have gotten from that one.
Diplomatics,
Sure.
diplomacy, something like that.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And so for this one, maybe I've got a rank 0 in deception, so maybe I've taught you something about or persuading. Deception or persuade, if you want one of them.
Yeah.
Perception is recon.
Hmm?
Perception is recon.
I think
so
she said persuade or deception.
Yeah.
Oh, persuade.
Persuasion.
Persuade, yeah.
Yeah. I'll have a point in persuasion. Quite happy with a level in persuasion.
it's a nice skill.
And maybe I'll take another level in persuade myself.
Very well. And I think you get your 2 rolls.
Okay. So I'm thinking personal development and performer again. In that order.
Okay. Language gets
Good.
increased. Did you already have it?
No, so I get a 0 in language, which kind of makes sense.
I think it's a 1 actually, since it doesn't have a number next to it. That's correct,
Is
right?
It's untrained for me currently, so
I think it does go to 1. If it,
Yeah,
Yeah.
if it doesn't have a number, it goes to 1,
yeah,
okay.
which
it
makes
either
sense.
goes to 1 or adds +1 if it's already at 1.
Yep.
Okay, so I have language 1, probably Banu.
Yes, probably Banu.
Okay, and then performer.
Let's see what your performer is. 1. What is that on the table? Art, performer, or instrument?
That makes sense.
And with that, I think we're ready to move on to the next person.
Hmm.
Okay, that's me.
Let's see what the Zeal has for us today.
I am going to try and join the Navy. So, qualification is int 6+, and I get +2 from graduating with honours.
So if you fail this roll, Zil,
Yeah.
And you can automatically try and be commissioned as
Ooh,
well.
just
Jesus!
I made it, I'm in the Navy.
Just about.
Now, let's see if I can get a commission.
You just had such good recommendations from your tutor.
Yeah.
You spent all your time drinking with Etcher.
I'm commissioned.
Congratulations.
Yay.
So I enter at rank 1. Was that right, Stephen?
Yep,
Yeah.
Ensign.
Same level as Stephen.
Okay. What was that thing where you said you get an extra advancement thing? Is that just for non-commissioned careers?
I think you start at 1 and then you get the opportunity to go to 2. Is that correct, Stephen?
Yeah, that makes sense, I think.
Yeah, you start at 1 to being an officer, and then
Okay, so I take the service skills as basic training. So pilot 0, vac suit 0, athletics 0, gunner 0, mechanic 0, and gun combat 0.
Excellent.
And melee blade 1 from being ensign. Melee blade 1. Okay. So I roll an event. Is that the next stage?
Yep.
9.
You foil an attempted crime on board, such as a mutiny, sabotage, smuggling, or conspiracy. Gain an enemy, but also gain +2 to your next advancement in the Navy.
Okay. Don't get any skills though.
Nope. But you do get a +2 on this advancement roll. Which is, I think, 7 plus education because you're a line crew.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think. Does anyone want to get in on this event with me somehow?
They could be your enemy, but I don't know if you would.
I think the two people who are military both have filled our
Oh, yeah,
connection.
that's true.
So this was you foil a crime on board a ship?
Yeah. I'm not suggesting the other player be the saboteur, but maybe they helped.
Maybe the crime was the sabotage of an important person who was going to be performing at a diplomatic event?
Or it could be whatever caused Seraphina's character to get severely damaged.
Oh, yeah.
Steph,
Yeah.
your character got severely hurt. Might have been while getting involved in crime.
Well, maybe helping stop the crime.
Or maybe helping stop the crime,
Well,
or just...
To be fair, I'm a belter. Well, I
Uh,
was a belter, so
yeah,
I
that's
probably
true.
shouldn't have. So yeah, that could be. Although, would that provide a content?
That basically would connect you to.
It would mean you
oh,
were
connection.
somehow involved in this thing.
Ah,
Yeah, you'd
And
have a
not-
connection.
Not maybe committing it, but maybe you heard something and you passed it on. So I was the one who got this message and acted on it, and
Right.
you got beat up for being a snitch or something.
yeah. That could. Yeah, that works.
That
Gains
works
you an
well.
extra skill at level 1.
Okay.
Yep, so each of you select the extra skill at level 1.
Oh my god, I get a skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations, it's your first one.
Well, not quite, but I'm not. It's not that bad.
I'm trying to encourage you.
Don't worry, I'm fully encouraged. Thank you.
What skill should I pick?
Well, what skill is associated with the act is what I'm going to pick for me. So, what skills are there? Or what would broker count as? Probably-
Brokers for finding cargoes.
Yeah. Hmm.
Maybe I'll go with Streetwise since you're quite low down on the pecking order.
Very, very nice.
It's a nice way of putting it.
Barry, you're a scumbag, Barry.
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh.
Don't worry, that's not that's the voice of a different character. I won't mention the name because it might upset Zero.
Oh wait, it's at level 1, not at 0. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a level 1 skill.
Yep. And
What
then
was
I think.
survival in... Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead and ask.
What's survival like in this game? Because obviously it's not like D&D. Can't remember.
It is like that one.
It is like D&D, but it's also like The Martian. So, like, if we were smashed
Oh.
on a planet and there was no air, you'd know to do things like take the power plant apart and crack the CO2 in the atmosphere or something to make oxygen and fuel, which is what NASA do. It's just scientific survival rather than
So-
necessarily digging roots.
So
I'll be right
maybe
back.
when you got attacked, they like cracked a hole in your little rock hopper, and that's why you have all of this survival skill, because you have to spend a month on just maneuvering thrusters getting back, and that's why you were severely injured. That might be a thing.
Maybe.
Or they basically dropped you in the middle of nowhere on some godforsaken planet, and you had to survive to get back to civilization.
Hmm.
You were marooned, Barry.
Hmm. Oh dear. My stats are so fucking awful. It's so
Welcome
funny.
to
I've still got
Traveller.
2 left. I've still got 2 terms left.
you could just wash out and not risk it.
No, I can't do that. God damn it.
I
Barry
returned.
ain't one to run away.
I'll come back.
Welcome back.
Okay, I've done my event, so it's advancement, is it?
Indeed, and I believe you have a +2.
I got +2 from the event. What's the thing based on? It's Navy. So, line crew advancement is education. So that's another +1. Ooh. Yes! So I'm now sub-lieutenant,
Congratulations.
and I get leadership 1. And we roll on the tables for skills now.
Twice. 2 rolls. Useful.
So I can either roll personal development, service skills, advanced education, officer, or line crew. I think I'm going to do personal development and officer. So +1 sock, so that goes up to 11. And 5 is admin.
Very nice.
Admin 1.
And with that, I think we're about ready to move on to the next person.
Yep.
That's what was your name? Edger, or do you prefer Mule?
Both is fine.
But it is your turn, Edger.
Okay. What do I do?
Well, where did we leave off with you? Remind me real quick.
I failed to graduate university.
Oh, yes. So now you get to pick your career.
Lovely. Maybe the scholar life wasn't for me after all. But I do see there's a field researcher option.
There is.
I think I'm gonna leaning towards that one.
Very well. Roll me 6 plus your intelligence, which I think is, what's your intelligence mod? Is it 0?
Yeah, it's still at 0.
Yep.
So,
That's very normal in this game.
you definitely get in.
10.
Mm-hmm. You get in, so you are now a scholar.
You could still be a
Yay.
physician if you wanted.
I mean, I don't know. No, not really. I want to be a field researcher.
Very well. I believe a field researcher needs to roll endurance 6 plus in order to survive.
Yeah, I was looking at that. That's still a 0, so...
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, let's go. Don't fail me, guys.
No.
Oh dear.
Oh, so close.
You failed me.
No. Now you have to roll the mishap table 1d6.
No! We're going to be the party with one leg.
There's some good rolls in here too.
Just 1d6?
Mm-hmm.
1.
Oh,
Oh, we've been here before. You are severely injured. This is the same as results to you. Alternatively, you can roll twice on the injury table and take the lower results. You can ask the group on advice on whether you should roll the dice or take the injury.
What should I do?
Well,
Well.
considering if you roll really badly on the injury table, you basically mess up 3 of your physical, all 3 physical characteristics.
yeah.
Just go
Which
for
is-
the severely injured and reduce 1 physical characteristic down.
Yeah. And that is what happened to Steve when he did that. So we would recommend just taking the D6 off of one of your characteristics. Off one of your physical characteristics.
So basically, a D6 off strength, dex, or endurance, pick the highest is usually a good idea.
Okay, I guess. Do I roll the d6 and?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you roll the d6 and
Okay,
you pick the
fine.
stat too. What stat are you picking?
Well, I have a 6 in strength, so I guess I can pick that one.
Okay, don't roll a 6.
Yeah,
Yeah.
otherwise you're dead. I love the fact that this game makes you hurt yourself.
Okay, dice, you can fail me now.
A 1.
Yay!
Hey, well done. See, Seth, that's how you avoid damage.
Well, it's still not good because I don't think you actually get anything else.
No, she
No.
fails the career.
Oh, I failed the carrier too?
Yeah, unfortunately,
Oh
you
It's not
automatically
good.
get kicked out on the mishap rolls.
We shall move on to the next person then.
Which is back to the beginning.
Is it now?
That'd be me.
Duff, you and Edge are becoming
Hey!
2 peas in a pod.
Yeah.
I guess you know who you're going to connect to your next
Yes.
event.
Oh, you're assuming either one of them is going to get to the event?
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
how to get to
yeah.
the event level.
Right. For the third time, I shall try and become a citizen. Education roll. 5. I still have a -1 to my roll, don't I? Because I've already had a career.
Yeah, I think so.
It's -1 for every previous career.
Oh, that is only 1. So, but I've got a -1 in education anyway.
So that's
-2.
-2.
Here we go.
You did it!
Oh my god, I did it!
You're a
After-
citizen! Yay!
After all my hardship, I finally get to be a worker.
At least it's surviving it fairly easy.
Oh, I'm sure I can screw that up as well. Right.
If you
This is
do, you deserve the credit for it.
Right, this is 2d6 plus my endurance, which now is 0.
Woohoo! You survived
Yay.
something!
I survived! I survived being a worker! It's a first! Right. Now for the event table. This is what screwed me over the first time. So this is just a straight 2d6 roll as well, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, wait, you get to take one of the service skills.
hmm
Oh yeah, it's a new grid.
Yeah, so you get to take one of the service skills at level 0.
Yay.
Good thing you picked worker.
Yes. I know my limits. I'm
The dice have taught you well.
yeah, they've made me its bitch.
Oh, most definitely. I'm just glad it's someone else. It's usually me with travel.
I will make the noble sacrifice. So I take one of the worker skills at 0, yeah?
Yeah.
Not
Mhm.
one of the service skills.
One of the service skills at 0.
Oh,
So
service.
drive, flyer, streetwise, melee, steward, profession.
Right. Well, I am now finally a citizen, so I probably should learn to beat the shit out of people. So I will go for melee.
It
No,
does.
actually, I won't. I will go for.
Maybe I put in a good word for you since you helped out with that sabotage.
And I would point out that melee relies on strength. And
Yeah.
physical strength's pretty
Yeah.
crap.
Yeah, but all of my skills are pretty crap now. So
What's your best stat?
my best is 8. My endurance, which is 8.
That's okay.
I've got 4 -1s though. So.
Oh god.
But that's okay. I'm fine playing this character. It's fitting. Okay, I'll just go for streetwise, bugger it, to save time. So, advancement roll. Oh no, event roll. Sorry.
Event, yes.
Oh god. Don't roll.
2d6.
Okay, it's not an 8.
A
A life
7.
event.
You get to roll on the life event table.
Yay!
Oh, is that a good thing?
It can be.
Could be.
Roll 2d6. It could be bad too.
Okay, it's at 2d6. Okay.
Yep.
It's
To get
a 9.
Travel.
you
You
move to another world.
Oh,
Sorry, Ellie.
You got it right. Travel. Move. You move to another world. You gain DM +2 on your next qualification roll.
Ooh. Okay, so I survived becoming a citizen. A
You
worker.
get to roll to see if you advance as a citizen.
And I moved to another world.
Mm-hmm.
Did you meet anyone on your travels?
I probably would have.
Who still has connections left?
Actually, that's a point. Did I have to have connections in order to?
You get up to 2, I think. Is that correct?
Yeah, you've
Think
got
about
one
it.
from me.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So you've got one left to have with someone, and I think it's really Zill and Mule.
Well, it can't be me because we've already got one.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
a
so-
mule. So
What's going on?
Connection.
mule.
They've actually managed to complete a career without taking any injury whatsoever. The universe came to a grinding halt for 30 seconds.
Thank you for the words of encouragement, Michael.
Do you expect any less from me?
So, who are you forming a connection with then?
I think my only option. I think mule at the moment, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a connection left, mule?
I don't think so.
Ah, okay.
Oh, you don't think you have any connections at the
Etcher's got one with me.
So she has 1. Does she have any others? How many connections have you had, Edja? Just 1?
Just one, I think, from
Oh, so you've got one left. You can make another one.
Yeah.
Is this the last one that's left out of the group?
I
I
think
think so.
I think
I still have one left.
Who else has 1 left then? Because there should be. We have an even number of players.
So Steph has 2. Well, no, Steph has 1 because we made one.
But if Steph and Edja form 1, they would be out. Michael, do you have 2?
I've got 2. I've got one with Stephen's character and one with Seraphine's character.
Seraphin, do you have 2?
I thought I had one with Stephen and Michael, but I might have been mistaken.
I'm just trying to think because we should. Correct me if I'm wrong, but since we have an even number of players, everyone should be able to have 2 connections.
Hi. Yes.
So Stephen, who have you got connections to?
Steven.
Okay, who's got connections to Stephen?
Me.
Okay.
I think me also. But I'm not sure.
Oh, so here's where we've gone wrong.
I think Steven has 3.
Yeah.
Or I think I just misunderstood something and thought I had one with him, in which case I have a spare one.
Okay, so Stephen's connection with Michael is that he took an interest in the Marines' career, and his connection with Mule is they were partying together at university. So
Correct. I mean, basically, what it is for role-playing purposes, I've got a connection with 3 players, but in terms of skills, I've only used 2.
Oh, right. Okay, so the one with me wasn't a skill connection, it was
Well,
just
it
a
was for
casual
you. It
connection.
was for you, but it wasn't for me.
Well, the
I
problem with
don't
that,
think
Steven,
that's how it works.
is we need everyone to have 2. So,
That's not how it works. It's basically it's got to be connected between the 2 characters.
because
Yeah,
I would
sure.
be fine with that if we had an odd number of players, but since we have an even number, we need it to be everyone needs to have 2 with 2 different people.
Go for it then.
Okay, so I'll undo that skill I got from that, and I've got 1 spare.
Okay. So, when I'm moving to a different world, potentially meeting one of you 2, what are your professions again? Sorry.
I am an entertainer.
Entertainer. That would potentially. What about you, Meal?
I failed to be a scholar, I think.
She's a party girl, essentially.
She's a party
I
girl.
partied too hard at my job also.
Well, to be fair, I have been trying to become a worker for how long is the term? 4 years.
So for 8 years.
So for 8 years, I've been trying to become a worker, and I'm finally moving to another world in order to become that. And I'm probably so happy that I might be partying with you.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Okay.
perhaps the two of you are drinking together and wallowing in your bad rolls.
Yeah, yeah, bonding over past failures, but you know.
Wasn't Etcher a field investigator?
But then she got injured, so maybe they
Yeah.
met in hospital.
Could be.
Maybe Etcher was a
Oh, actually, that's a
field
point.
operative.
How many tools? Sorry, how many terms have you got, Mule?
One, I think, just one.
She's done two because you have one from your
No, I
School.
mean, how many total? Because obviously,
Yes,
my
three.
fourth term will be your third term. If
Well,
you've got 3.
I failed
total.
the university, so if that's counting as one,
Mm-hmm. It does.
and then I failed the job, so that I'm at 2 then.
No. Okay, it says in the
your
thing that
total
you have
is,
3. You have 3 total terms to do. So
Mhm.
when I'm doing my 4th term in character, you're doing your 3rd term because I'm older. If you see what I mean.
Yeah. Okay.
So for my 3rd term, when we meet, it will be your 2nd term. So
No, it'll be her. It'll be her third term as well. Won't it?
Yeah.
No, I guess you're right.
Weird. I can't calculate.
Yeah, it's confusing because of the.
yeah, because I'm old, because I've got more terms to do. But so during your 2nd term is when
Yeah,
it
her
was- so
her second term is your third term,
yeah,
I think.
indeed, which is when you got injured. So yeah, while you're injured, you party. So we each get a skill from that, don't we?
Yep.
Cute. I think I'll go for carouse. Makes sense. Is that 0 or 1?
1.
Yep, and Edgy gets a new skill as well.
Oh,
Any skill you like.
Yeah, basically.
can I up one of the ones I have?
I think so. Doesn't say. Does it have to be a new one?
No, it can be any as long as it doesn't
Any
take it
skill.
above 2.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I can up the science by one.
Very nice. You have to have a field of study for science, Stephen, or is it just science?
No, you have to have a field of study. So
What is your field of study, Edja?
Though with the science of 2, you can have 2 different fields of study if you wanted.
you could have science 2 twice, or a science 1 twice, or science 2.
So the list is stuff like archaeology, astronomy, biology, chemistry, cosmology, cybernetics, economics, genetics, history, linguistics, philosophy, physics, planetology, or psionicology.
Psionics don't exist in this world, so.
So scratch that one then.
Since you
what
were a
page is
field
that?
researcher, you could do one that's related to that. It's page 68.
I think I'll go with biology. Or planetology, I'm not sure.
You could take one in each.
You can have 1 level in each.
Actually, it doesn't make much sense to take one in each, because if you've got, stupidly the way Traveller works, if you've got two in one of the sciences, you've got one in all the others.
Oh, really? That's weird.
You could go
You
with biology.
could rule that it's not right, because it doesn't make. I mean, I could tell you, you can work out which ones are related and which ones aren't. That's pretty obvious.
Yeah, I would say I would allow it to apply to 0 maybe, but not to 1. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it depends on the science. I mean, like if you had a 2 in biology, you most certainly would have a 1 in genetics. That's for sure.
Yeah, of course. Definitely would depend on the thing. I'm just saying, I don't have a problem if you have like training in science to say like, oh, you're kind of like 0 in the other sciences because you're at least have cursory knowledge from your education sort of thing. But saying you have a 1 in,
Actually,
geology because
Actually, they have changed it in this.
really?
Basically, if you don't have, as it says, it's got it in reading the specialty section. Basically, the example would be an engineer. They've got is an engineer who's got jump drive 1 and power plant 2. You'd make a jump drive roll with a +1, power plants with a +2, and all other engineer checks with a +0. So you
That's
don't
good.
get a modifier. So it does make buying 2 proficiencies better.
Yeah, that's good. That makes more sense.
I thought I'd read that somewhere. So having having science in both of them is better in this version.
Yep. They probably meant that in the last version. It was just so badly written you couldn't
Badly
tell.
written, yeah. So if you want to have science in both of them, you all go for it.
You wish to?
Can I though? It's only a 1.
Yeah, you can have 1 in each, or you can have 2 in one of them.
Because you've already got science in 1, so you could have science in one and science 1 in the other one. So you do both sciences.
What do you wish?
I am so confused, but okay, I can take
Wait,
biology and
I think-
planetology.
Mule, did you already have Science 1?
I had science 0.
Oh,
That's why.
never mind. Then you
Never
would be
mind,
at
you only
science
get
1.
Science 1 then.
Just one of them, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
just one of them.
Just one of them.
Okay, I'll go for what should I? What biology?
There you
I'll
go.
go
Biology
with
is always, biology is always useful.
I mean, it's not like we have any biologists that are extremely intelligent in this group.
Indeed. Oh,
Do
you
we
meant Steve.
really have anyone who's extremely intelligent in this group?
Yes?
I can provide plenty of examples to counter any idea that any of us are intelligent.
We're not talking about real life here.
I was thinking about Fabrica.
Well, anyways, you can continue on. I think it was still actually Steph's.
Yes. Advancement in worker, which requires an education roll. I need to roll over 8.
Do you have a
So,
negative?
-1.
Oh,
But I
Oh.
don't have another minus anymore, do I?
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
what did I
it's-
miss out to step up?
Steph is rolling for education.
Yeah, to advance.
What events and stuff did you?
Oh, what event? I moved to a new world.
And made a connection with Mule's character because they kind of ended up drinking buddies.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And now I'm rolling for advancement.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's 2d6 minus 1. Well, I don't. I get a job, but I don't get any, promotion.
You're
Get into it.
sufficient.
So I get 1 roll on the skills and training now, don't I?
Yep.
Oh, it's been a while. 1d6 roll, and I'm going to roll on. Let's go for personal development again.
What did we get? A
Gotta get
2.
those stats up
Intelligence.
somehow.
Intelligence.
Cool.
Hey.
So intelligence is now 7. Excellent.
Woohoo.
That's my turn.
Who is next? I think it's Steven, if I remember the order.
Yep.
I think so.
It is your last term, I believe.
It is, but first I've got to roll 2d6 plus 2 to get advancement for the last time.
Oh, yes.
So
yes.
I'm changing career.
Go ahead and roll your advancement for last time then.
This is 5 plus, so I've just doubled it.
Yeah, I think that's a pass.
So I'm sub-lieutenant. Okay, good. So I'm now going to leave the Navy. Well, actually, stay in the Navy, but I'm going into naval intelligence. So I'm going to be an agent.
Gotcha. Don't forget your extra roll on the skill and training table.
Oh, I think I got that last time anyway,
okay.
because I don't think you get that from the first one.
Yeah,
So
you don't.
I don't count.
Okay. So then make your agent roll, but you did get a bonus from being a sub-lieutenant leadership one.
Hi.
Your agent roll now. It is
Yeah, I'm just
requires a
checking.
6 intelligence 6 plus. I think you're at a -1 since you've had one other.
Correct. So it's -1 plus 1. So I'm just 2d6.
Ooh,
Just.
barely.
So you get
Yeah.
one service skill for a new career.
At level 0.
And then you'll get to see if you survive. I'm assuming
How's
you're
it
going
not-
into intelligence.
Yep.
And just as a note, anyone who does any sort of military or government service will be a citizen when the game starts.
Woohoo.
Otherwise, you will be a civilian. Oh my, you survived. Intelligence agent is actually dangerous.
And I advance. So I'm agent deception 1.
And don't
Oh,
forget
wait.
your event.
Yeah, your event can do things to your advancement.
And why is there no commission roll here? There should be. Because they've got. Oh, I see. It's law enforcement or intelligence corporate.
Yeah, I think intelligence is more like
Yeah, it's agent.
well, it says you work as a spy or a saboteur.
Yeah, I'm a spy. Okay, event.
What did you?
That's useless. Can I re-roll it?
You complete a mission and anyone benefit roll. Yeah, you can re-roll that because we're not using benefit rolls. So life event.
Son of a bitch.
Whee. Let's see if that romance became a marriage.
Then.
Ooh, crime.
And that's actually how I was going to end my character anyway. Excellent.
So perhaps you were dismissed and sent, basically. It's like, it's in some ways it's sort of a slap on the wrist because of your years of service.
Now I hate the UEE. I've renamed my name. I've changed my name to Dennis. But it doesn't say I get thrown out of the career, so I still get my
And
two rolls.
you still get your rolls.
Yeah, by the end of your career, you were disavowed by the agency.
That's right.
I believe you move up to rank 1 as well, too, so you get Deception 1, is that correct?
Yeah, I do. So this one's on intelligence. Ooh, gun combat.
Always a good one to have.
Mm.
Are you improving it to 2 or taking another 1 in 1?
Improving it to 2. Same table again.
Wait, is this the intelligence table? I don't see gun combat on the intelligence table.
Intelligent gun combat's on the service skills. Intelligence 6 would be deception.
Did you mean service skills or did you mean intelligence, Stephen?
Yeah, I guess I meant service skills, but anyway.
Okay, that's fine. So you get investigation then? Or investigate?
Always
Yes.
useful.
Oh, I like that skill. And that's me done apart from the traveller package picks.
Very well. We shall move on. We are nearing the end.
Mhm.
Considering the time this is taking, we'll probably end the session after character creation and then pick up next session.
Okay.
So who's next?
Me on Marine. Okay, so survival. Yeah, do I risk going for ground assault with my high endurance or not?
You will survive.
I'll stick with Starman. I've got a slightly better chance of surviving.
Very well.
Good job I did. I wouldn't have made the survival roll.
Oh,
for
yeah.
ground
That's the
assault.
second time you've done that, actually.
Yeah. So just about made the so event roll is 11. I had that last time, didn't I? Yeah. So I get a +4 on my advancement roll.
This community officer really likes you.
Yeah. Stephen's character really likes my character.
Does everyone have
Indeed.
connections already now, too, by the way? Everyone have 2?
There's just me and sorry, I forgot Ian. Seraphin. We
Okay.
are the only 2.
So hopefully you
look.
2 can form a connection.
I advance. So
Oh,
I'm
you
now,
so advanced.
I am now a corporal. And it gets me 2 rolls, which is useful. So one
Yep.
of them will be on first one will be on advanced education because I just about scraped that.
Oh, wait, did Seraphine already have her last roll, though?
No,
You done 2 or 1?
I've done 1.
Did we skip you last time?
Must have done.
Skip me for what?
Your career.
Yeah, I think we must have
Mm.
skipped Seraphim for a term at least.
Because you only
Oh,
have
funny.
2?
I've only got 2, and I've done 2.
Oh, then yeah, that's what I thought.
So yeah, I'm done.
Okay. And 2 on advanced education gets me a survival. I don't have survival, which is useful. I now do.
Which table are you going to roll on next?
I will stick with Star Marine. A Star Marine.
Very well.
Let's see what I get. A 2. Athletics. Eee. My athletics goes up.
We can't hear you, Stephen.
Sorry, I strongly suggest you choose dodge.
Well, I've taken dexterity-based athletics because they're basically you're either dex-based, strength-based, or endurance-based. So I've gone for that's the specialties for athletics, dex, strength, or endurance. So.
It's just if you decide to dodge in combat, that's that your athletics dodge skill used to be your negative modifier that you give to the enemy. So it's a good idea to jump out of the way.
Yep. So basically, I've taken the dex, specs, athletics, and that's me finished.
Okay, who's next?
Oh, if Seraphim doesn't have a third term, then that's me, I guess.
Mm-hmm. We need you to get an event so you two can connect. Otherwise, we're going to have to come up with one.
Fudge it.
Yes.
Okay, so I also want to leave the Navy.
Where are you heading?
I am going to head to the scholar career and try and qualify for physician. So I roll a qualification thing.
Yes, it is intelligence 6+, but you get a -1 for every previous career you've had.
Okay. Alright. Oh, that should be -1. Oh, I think I make it
It's
anyway.
still a pass.
Yep. So I am qualified as a physician.
Now you need to roll education 4+ to survive. Can you do it?
Oh, okay. Let's see, what is my education? It is +1.
You need a roll of 3. You
6.
succeed.
Okay, so now I get to roll an event.
Indeed. What sort of event are you going to get?
Okay. We got here. 7. I think that's a life event, is it?
A life event.
Okay, what page is that table?
I'll just scroll down, you'll find it pretty
Oh,
quickly.
I've got it, okay.
It's another D12? Or
11.
2d6? Crime!
Crime!
It looks like Zil and I were led into a life of crime.
Okay.
Steven, does your character already have a... Well, you had the connection, but it wasn't the same.
I've
So-
got 2.
Perhaps everyone in the group was involved in this. That could be like our...
Maybe we thought we were. Maybe we heard that the DM wasn't going to give us any benefit rolls, and we decided to ice it.
Try to steal our benefits.
Maybe if Stephen's already got that, I could just roll at a different life event.
Sure, we can roll it a different...
Okay, let's see what happens here.
New relationships. You become involved in a romantic relationship. Gain an ally.
Okay.
Do we want that to
So-
be someone else, or do you want that to be Serapha?
Well, the allies usually are someone else.
But it would be a connection. I will leave that up to Seraphim.
As an idea, the connection could be she's the one that introduces you.
That's true.
Yeah, you can know one of my bandmates
Great.
and hit
While
it off
committing a
quite well.
crime.
Oh, I think we dropped the crime thing, so
That comes later.
very well.
Okay, so that means we both get to pick another skill, and then I'll do some table rolls. So, I can't go up in medic because I'm already 2. What kind of band is it that you are a singer in?
I'm picturing we're sort of 80s rock, but as envisioned by the far future. So
Okay.
it's very sort of hand up and not quite right, but the best we can gather from old internet records.
Excellent.
Just to be clear, this is 80s pop music, yes?
80s rock, obviously.
Same thing, isn't it?
No.
No.
Never
Well,
mind.
Iron Maiden was very popular, so that would also count as pop music.
I guess if you want to get technical.
80s pop
There-
music.
There's some
is-
overlap.
Yeah, 80s pop music to me is flaming new romantic rubbish.
Okay, well, let's continue on.
What skill are you gonna pick, Seraphim?
If I've set you up, then maybe persuade makes sense, and I can bump that up to +2.
Sounds good.
Oh, trust me, they're really, really nice.
Honest.
Now that's either persuade or deception.
Well, let's see.
I suppose it doesn't actually have to be connected to the connection, but
True.
it just it feels like it should be.
I think I want some more persuade anyway, so I'll pick that one.
I think you just have your advancement roll left and then the tables.
Yeah, hang on. All right. Oh, it's a new career, so I get to pick a new service skill at 0.
Mm-hmm.
Just quickly look at that. Scholar. What are the service skills? Drive, electronics, diplomat, medic, investigate, and science. I already have science 0 and drive 0. What does electronics cover?
Comms, sensors, computers, and remote sensing, operating drones and stuff.
Okay.
There do exist medical drones in this world.
I'm gonna
Yes, the Apollo.
stop sitting on my notes, cat.
Could be worse. You could have a cat just walk across your keyboard. Which is what had just happened to me. How it didn't manage to put any letters up, I don't know.
Electronic 0 for my service. Okay. Let's see if I advance and then I'll see what tables I'm going to roll on. What is advancement for physician? Edu 8+.
Yes, education.
So I get a +1, but it's still... Oh, just missed out.
It's because if you notice the careers, if the survival is easy, the advancement is usually difficult, and vice versa.
Is there any way I can catch another +1? No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. So you have one
Okay.
roll on the table.
Right. Personal development, service skills, advanced education, or physician. With physician, I'm more likely to get medic, which I already have, and I can't advance further.
You can just re-roll it though.
Yeah. On the other hand, personal development might boost one of my stats. Like, if I get a +1 int, edu, or soc, that's an extra +1 modifier. You think that's worth the attempt?
+1 can always be useful in this game, so.
I'm going to roll on personal development. +1 soc. Okay, so that's up to 12.
Blimey. You're a baron.
Yep.
Yeah, 12 is social is pretty big, actually.
Well, I did think when I started, I had put my 10 in it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought maybe I don't think the Empire actually has much in the way of a nobility and aristocracy in this one. So I was thinking it might be like maybe my parents or grandparents are one of the members of the Senate,
Sure, you could do that. You can go the opposite way too and come from like a megacorp family too.
Ugh, don't be corporate. I'm a communist.
Just put it out there.
Right. Do I have to roll anything else? I think I'm done.
I think you're done, so we'll move on. Who's left? Is it?
I think I'm the only one left.
Yep. Adja?
And then Steph's last.
Yeah, Steph has the last term. So where do you want to head from here? Note that if you want to go scholar again, you're going to have to qualify all over.
No, you know what? I'm gonna stick to my guns. I'm gonna be a cautionary tale of you shouldn't drink in school.
You're going to go scholar?
Yeah.
Very well. Roll me intelligence. 6+ is what you need.
Here goes.
Yay.
Woohoo!
You've qualified.
Now to survive.
Are you going to be a field researcher again or try something different?
Yeah, I'm trying for the same thing again.
Endurance. 6+.
Come on, guys.
Oh,
This
gosh.
time, please don't fail me.
Oh!
Miracle! I did it!
Congratulations. Now you get to roll 2d6 on the event table.
Oh. Ten.
You are involved in a gambling ring. Gain Gambler 1. So appropriate for your
Of course
character.
I am.
Wait, am I looking at the right table? No, I'm looking at the wrong table. Hold on. Sorry.
Oh, that was so good.
You become entangled in bureaucratic or legal morass that distracts you from your work. Gain Admin 1, Advocate 1, Persuade 1, or Diplomat 1.
It's okay, the thing that can distract you could be a gambling ring.
Yes, that's true.
You just don't get the gambling.
What's advocate do?
It's legal.
Lawyer.
Based on the usual traveller campaign, we're gonna need it.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Okay. You
Having
get
someone that knows lawyer stuff is always.
Dirtbag schools in session.
you learn how to be a good advocate and kind of manipulate the law from the scum of the universe.
Hello.
Scum of
Oh,
the
no.
universe meet lawyer.
Barry's not scum. He tipped off the Navy,
Now you
and
get
in return he.
Oh, that
You
is
get-
so my surname.
you get to roll your intelligence now, which I
My
think.
intelligence?
Mm-hmm. And you need a 6+ to advance.
So I'm just clicking intellect.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
You do not advance, but you do get to pick one table to roll on, either personal development, service skills, or the field researcher table.
I'll pick personal development, I guess.
Okay, then roll a d6.
Five.
Your endurance goes up by 1 point.
Yay.
So it's now a 9, which gives you +1 in that.
No, it's 8 now.
Oh, it's 8 now. Darn.
Yeah. I wish it was a 9. But
So
it
close.
is.
Then I think the last thing left is actually
Package.
Steph's last term.
Steph's last term, and then
Steph has a last term. Excellent.
yeah.
Then some of us have got enemy rivals and things.
Ah, yeah, those things to sort out. Okay. Wake up, it's time to die.
You said
Yes.
it.
We have faith in you.
Which
You got
career
it.
are you gonna go?
Which career? Good old Barry's worked his whole life to try and get here. He's going to stay as a worker. If he's
Very well.
so, I don't have to qualify again, do I?
No, you just have to survive.
Yep. Okay. 2d6. Oh, thank fuck.
Just. Barry couldn't hack it.
Congrats.
And to advance. Oh, life. Got to roll for life. That's a straight 2d6 roll. That's an 8. Oh no.
You learn something you should not have.
A corporate secret, a political scandal, which you can profit from illegally. If you choose to do so, you gain DM+1 to benefit the role from this career. To a benefit roll, so that doesn't apply, and gain streetwise.
One.
If you
section
refuse,
one
you
or
gain
crit.
nothing.
Well, I don't get punished for doing it, so excellent.
I'll let you, since you don't get the +1 to the benefit roll, I'll let you pick 2 of the 3.
Oh, lovely. Thank you. Let's see. Well, I am an honest man, so I shall ignore deception. I'll have a criminal contact and streetwise 1.
An honest man with a criminal contact.
Yes. Okay, you have a point there. Okay, a man who is hopeless at lying. That's better. So a criminal contact. Okay. I'll name him Criminal Todd. Okay. And I've got advancement to roll. This should be fun. So this is a
Which one are you
What's that?
picking?
education. So education roll to see if I can advance.
Oh yeah, you get your advancement roll.
This is -1.
Oh, it was difficult anyways.
Yeah.
You
indeed
actually
it is.
rolled average.
I know.
Oh, time
So,
for your skill and training.
Yay! Right. So I shall roll on service skills. Dice roll. 6. Profession. I think that's it then.
Now we get everyone gets to pick from the traveler skill pack, unless the group decides you want a different skill pack. You can glance over them.
What page is this skill pack?
48.
48. Thank you.
The traveler skill pack tends to be the most generic, though the explorer pack is pretty generic too. If you wanted to.
I think the traveler's good unless we have a very good idea what we're going to do.
Starship skill package is always good too.
That's true. Is anyone an engineer?
I have engineer 1.
That's something.
I have
What's your
mechanic one.
engineer 1 in?
Life support.
I've got mechanic 0, pilot 1, and astrogation 1. So, but with a pretty good modifier for astrogation. So,
My recommendation would be either traveler, explorer, or starship. Probably traveler and starship, I would say, would be more. Those two would be above explorer.
I think traveler skill packages are fine.
me too.
Very well.
So let's. What order do we pick in? You want to do it randomly, or do you want to let Steph go first since her character's so fucked?
I mean, you guys can decide amongst yourselves. I would hope we could be civil enough that you could come to
Don't
an
take
agreement.
pity on me. I'm
No, let's
perfectly
take
fine.
pity on you. You need the pity.
So I would
Does
give
anyone really want
Steph and
you?
Edja kind of first pick based on roles and also the fact that I think Edja went last. So
Hmm.
What?
You get to pick from.
Go to page 48, Edja.
Okay.
her and Steph can pick first. So whichever
And
two of you.
there's a series of skill packages, and basically, there are a number of skills, and basically each of us gets to choose one of those skills. It has to be something you don't already have because it's got a number by it. If you already have it, it means you can't increase a skill. You can only just get it. So it's only good for skills you don't have. So you get you and Steph get first pick basically.
Yep. I think originally I was gonna just have 2 leftover ones because I think there's 8 of them. I might let the 2 of them also pick an extra one if they're applicable, just because they rolled so.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. We'll give you if it's applicable, you guys can pick an extra one at the end of it. But pick one for now and then let everyone else get a chance.
I think I'm gonna take deception one.
Okay, so deception is marked off.
Steph, what's your pick?
Right. Well, I have. Does anyone else not have gun combat? Although, to be fair, if I ever use it, I'll be useless. But what stats would medic go off? Education or intellect?
Usually education.
Yeah, that's not good for me then either. Maybe stealth so I can get out of there.
You're gonna play a coward, aren't you, again?
I think with the stats he rolled and the way it went, playing a coward's a perfectly good idea.
Okay. Sorry, I'm taking too much time. I will take.
Gunner one, because then you're on
Yeah.
the ship.
Yeah, I was going to take Gunner actually. Yeah, I'll take Gunner. So I've already got gun combat 0. I'll take Gunner.
Does anyone else want gun combat 1?
Nope.
Nope.
I don't have it, so maybe. Although I don't know if it would make sense for me.
Being able to shoot is always a good thing.
This is Stars's, and it definitely makes sense.
I have it at 0. I wouldn't mind getting it to 1, but if you wanna take it,
I mean, I don't even have it at 0, so
Ooh.
if nobody minds, then I might take gun combat 1.
It's up to you two to decide.
Perfect.
well, if you don't have it at all, then
You're in serious trouble. Have you
Okay.
got a good dex, Seraphim?
I've got a +1.
Yeah.
She has +1 in every stat.
Yeah, of course. That's right. She's the JOT of the group.
She should have gotten a bunch of jack of all trades ranks.
okay.
God, she'd have just basically been good at every skill.
Imagine if she had jack of all trades too on this character.
That'd be ridiculous.
If you take gun combat 1, Seraphim, I think is it all right if I take electronics 1?
Perfect. I'll have stealth 1 if no one minds. Unless Mike wants it, but it does fit with being an agent.
No, I've already got stealth. So,
Nice.
yeah, I've got stealth at 1.
Awesome.
So what's left?
Pilot,
Persuade and medic.
persuade, and medic.
Which one would be better, pilot or medic?
We need a pilot of a starship because we don't have one. I'm pilot small craft only.
Keep in
Yeah, me
mind,
too.
keep in mind too, I'm gonna let the other 2 Edja and Steph pick
Exactly.
the last two, so they're not going to go to waste like originally was planned.
Oh. Well, I've already got pilot smallcraft, so it might be worth divvying up the ability to pilot.
Yep, I've got pilot small craft as well.
So I might as well. So I take pilot then.
Well, if you want to, yeah.
Well, I have two choices: pilot or medic.
Hmm.
So, because all the others they're either ones I've got or have been taken. So, and if I took pilot, I can take ability to pilot something bigger than a small craft,
Mm.
like spacecraft by some chance.
Starship, yeah.
Yeah. So I can take pilot spacecraft, or one of you can take pilot, and or Steph can take pilot and have the and have it as a spacecraft piloting as well. It's up to you.
Well, I've already got pilot. So that'd
Yeah,
be
but
a
you can
waste
take
of that.
pilot again and be spacecraft pilot and smallcraft pilot.
No, but my smallcraft is only 0, so it'd be a
Oh.
waste of that skill. I might as well get something different. 'Cause the party's going to have this skill anyway.
No, you can have spacecraft.
No, but I get the
I don't
Okay.
think you can have.
No, you don't have a specialization if you've only
You don't
got
have a
four.
specialisation at the moment. If you took pilot, you'd then be able to specialise.
That's right. You only choose a specialization when you got 1 or higher.
yeah, but I've already got pilot 0, so it'd be a waste of that pilot 0, is what I'm saying.
How?
Yes,
would
it
you
would.
persuade?
What's the other one that's left over other than pilot?
Oh, I see what you mean.
Medic.
Medic.
Yeah.
Persuade.
And
Wait,
what
did
was
someone
the
take
other?
medic? There should be 2 left, I think. And did
But I haven't
Michael?
taken one
Oh, you
yet.
haven't taken one yet, Michael?
Yeah. So I should
There's
take
3
medic.
left.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, what do I ask? What do Steph and Edja need? Like, what skills do they have already? Do they?
I
Do you have any of those 3? Is my question. Either of you?
I have pilot.
Yeah, but it's
0.
pilot 0. So
Yes, but I have pilot.
I don't have pilot.
Do you have medic?
I don't have that as well.
Do you have was the last one persuade? I think.
Last one was persuade.
Do you have persuade?
No, I don't have that.
Okay, so all of them are okay for Edja, so you can leave her any of them.
yeah, but I can't take persuade because I'm already at level 1 on
Ye-
persuade. So
Yeah, so maybe take the pilot then,
okay, take pilot of.
and then the 2 Edja and stuff. You two can decide between yourselves which skills you want.
Cool.
You
Edja, do you
do you want medic or persuade? You two.
Yeah. Do you have any preferences? Edja?
Do
Not
you want to-
really. I
you
wanted
want
to
to be
be
a
a
physician?
doctor. Yeah, I can take medic
There
if you
go.
don't want it.
Not at all.
That's hilarious. You spent your entire life wanting to be a medic, and then basically you learned it at first aid school.
And I am somehow persuasive. That's fun.
It's the journey that matters.
True, it is true, and we all know why you're persuasive. It's because you whine. Oh, go on!
That's
Let
so
me be a
true.
citizen. You have to persuade people to let you be a citizen.
I can deceive them instead.
It's true.
So I think we have all the stats figured out, correct?
Indeed. I've got a list with everyone's. I'll put Michael.
So the last things that we need to cover real quick. Before next session, you'll all need to have a reason for why you're on the station. And to come up preferably with some contacts that you have on the station there, be it family, friends, not like you can have other players included, but you need some NPCs as well.
There's some of the ones like we got from events and things. I wouldn't
Mhm.
mind if we've got time. Because I think someone has three contacts.
Yeah.
I've got an enemy and an ally to figure out.
I would prefer to handle that across the week, That way I could get you. That way I could look through my notes and get you more details, essentially.
Well, my ally is apparently someone involved in Seraphin's 80s glam rock band,
Okay.
who is now my girlfriend or boyfriend, to be determined.
To be
I think it's the
determined.
woman in the opening scene of that video I posted.
Oh gosh.
It's Princess Ardala.
Yeah. I'm not sure you want Princess Adala as your.
You wouldn't, she'll kill you.
Yeah.
But
Basically, she takes her lovers and then kills them.
I think we can handle all of that across the week. It's up to you if you guys are all here for like similar reasons, or you just wound up in the same place. Maybe like, someone's here only because someone else came here first or whatever. So
Well, things like for Steph, she had to move. He had to move, or Barry had to move world. So maybe move to this world.
I mean, I moved like 8 years ago, so maybe was this around 8 years ago, and I've just been here 8 years as a worker.
I think it has been.
I've been 29, 27.
It was abandoned until recently, I think.
Fair enough.
No.
There was
Well, in my last
when was Keller's run? Something about that.
it wasn't technically abandoned. It was just held by like bandits and pirates, essentially.
And you've got
And
various criminal
Barry!
contacts. Barry has various criminal contacts.
It was known as Barry Station until recently.
Oh gosh. But with that, I'm gonna close down this stream. We can keep talking, but I think we got the basics covered.
Cool.
Yep. So this has been session 0, and next week we'll resume with session 1.